Alright, let's switch over to some DVD. You're getting lots of DVD content lately, Fluffkins. How do you feel? How do you feel? Verdict? Give one emote to express your... Actually, no, give 3 emotes. 3 emotes to express yourself. Those are great choices. Those are great choices. Alright. Let's play some DVD, shall we? Don't look at my forehead. Got a fucking gold dot. It's really bad, actually. It fucking hurts. I shouldn't have messed with it. Just like simple. Everybody gets them, but it's painful. It'll go away probably tomorrow. I'm sure Anima's emote choices would vary greatly. Well, if Anima wants to pick 3 emotes to express his feelings about DVD, he can. I'd be interested to see Anima's choices. I'd be interested. Let's not. Hey, let's not peer pressure, okay? If he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. Okay. No peer pressure here. This is a safe space. No kink shames. Not sure what that has to do with it, but just wanted to throw that out there. Actually, except if you're in defeat. No, I'm just joking. If you're in defeat, that's not that bad. That's bait. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I love that meme so much. I really love that meme. Is that from Mad Max? Shit, I never knew that. I thought they were like in a. I thought they were in like a Humvee in like a military movie. I love that meme. That's like one of my favorite memes. I see that posted on Twitter and it always makes me laugh. What about Anima? I'm curious. Maybe you'd be willing to do this one. What would be your 3 emotes of choice if I decided if I decided to do a RuneScape stream? What would be your 3 emotes of choice then? I'm curious. Are you willing to give 3 emotes of choice for that? I'm pretty curious, actually, what your mix of emotions would be. Oh dear. That's not starting off well already. That's starting off pretty bad. Oh fuck. Yeah, we can go with this. Fuck it. I don't know if that's if you're just saying, no, you said dead. You didn't even say bed. You said dead. The dead got me. That might be the one game that Anima wouldn't tune in for, man. Fuck. SMH. Stream dead, dude. We'll lose the resident Aussie. I don't plan to play RuneScape anytime soon. I would like to, but I can't. I don't have the time, sadly. To be fair, I spend all my time fucking playing DVD right now, but it's just because of the PC issues I'm having. Once I get past the PC issues, if I get past the PC issues, that is, we're gonna play this. We're gonna play some stuff. RuneScape Lobster. I fucking love RuneScape. I don't know why, but RuneScape is like one of those games. I don't know. And lose the chance to openly lock the game and question why people would play it. Have you actually seen much about RuneScape? I assume you've seen enough. because otherwise you wouldn't mock it unless you're mostly joking. Like you're joking, you're mocking would be mostly joking. Cause like I don't know, I think RuneScape surprises people. I think like a lot of people judge RuneScape like by the cover. I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying in general. And it's actually a pretty surprising game when you actually play it. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like a lot of energy to it. I think it's a fun game. It's a very like fun MMO. Like I feel like a lot of MMOs like they just kind of go for this like kind of soulless vibe, and the soul is from like the people you play with and just enjoying the grind. Whereas I feel like RuneScape kind of doesn't follow that trend, and it goes for feeling more kind of more like full of life instead. And it really isn't a very social game. Like the most socialness in RuneScape is seeing people asking for GFs and seeing people light lines of campfires outside of the bank of rock and having people try and scam you. That's about it. That's like the social aspect of RuneScape. Oh, and begging people to do the fucking Shield of Rock quest with you. That's about it. Oh, and fishing with others, you know, all stacking up and fishing in the same spot. That's fun too. Option. There is some social aspects. I don't know, RuneScape is one of those games that is like super nostalgic for me. There's a lot of games that are like that, where it's just like good memories, you know what I mean? Like it's just super nostalgic. It's got good vibes just because of how much like good memories that I have with it and stuff. RuneScape is definitely one of those games for me. Between the one attempt I made at playing it forever ago and the bits and pieces, I've seen enough to know it's not for me. Mocking it is less about being objectively bad and more that I just don't like it. That's fair. It does seem like the funny thing to just mock RuneScape for some reason. I've always noticed it. Like as I've gone through gaming and stuff, it's like RuneScape's kind of like openly mocked. But like, I don't know, man. It's been around for a long time. Been around for a long time. And I mean, I'm gonna say it. I kind of feel like old school RuneScape is more successful than classic WoW, to be honest. Like, everything I see about old school RuneScape, people are fucking loving it. Like, the old school RuneScape vibe is, like, so positive. The WoW Classic vibe, I feel like, is not as positive. Like, it is not as positive. But WoW Classic probably still has more players because it's just a bigger, more well-known game. So, it depends how you gauge success, I guess. Whole team. I mean, it's rude. You gauge success, exactly. Give Iron Will, but sticking a generator is going to be interesting. This Franklin's and Weave attunement. He's giving up. What a fucking loser, dude. Well, I'm just gonna give up too then. DVD. Have that again. And they fail to realize that it had nothing to do with WoW and everything to do with the people to play with and the time in their life. They don't understand that it's not classic WoW they need, it's a time machine. Yeah, that's fair. No, yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Everything I've seen that people like talking about positive memories on WoW, it's always talking about doing something with other people. It's like, oh, you know, my guild, you know, oh, I have really good guild mates, you know what I mean? Like, and people talking about how they have friends from back then. And like, oh, you know, the raids and like blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I never hear people actually talking about enjoying the game specifically that much. Like, I don't know. It just seems like people just kind of remember the good times, not the actual game itself all that much, if that makes sense. The game was just the platform that shipped it. But that's just kind of a vibe I've always gotten. I've never really played. Well, I mean, I've actually played a decent amount of WoW, weirdly. When I was a kid, I played the free version. I played it quite a lot. I played like one character of every race, and I got them to level 20, because that's when the free version ended. I never actually paid for the game. I've never actually paid for WoW, but I've probably played like a solid amount of hours, probably like over 50. I just never really enjoyed it enough, and I was too young to actually buy the, what you got. Hey. Why can't I heal you? I will make it. Like PvE was ever fun as far as content. People enjoy it because who they were doing that content with, not because the content was fun. Okay. See, that's like one of the things that I always kind of hate when people are like, oh, this is fun with friends. It's like, if you're hanging out with the right kind of friends, literally anything is fun. Like anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you can say that it's fun with other people. You can say that. Because, like, some things are more fun with more people. Like, something being fun with friends. Like, yes, some things are more fun with friends. This is true. But, I just mean, like, anything can be fun with friends. Just because something's fun with friends doesn't mean it's good. But something can be good to have fun with your friends. If that makes sense. Fuck, he has weave attunement. I'll die. There's an item somewhere on the ground. I don't know where it is. They can just see me at all times. Item there. Is it while I'm holding an item too? It must be, because he can still see me. Well, I hear the noise. Do you know if I hear the noise? Like, yeah, no shit. No, that's fair. More fun with friends. I mean, I get what they're trying to go for, but their statement is pointless because everything's more fun with friends. But, like I was saying, but I do get the, like, it's a dumb statement. But I do get the sentiment they were going for. It's like, they're saying this is a good game to play with your friends. Because there is some games that are more fun to play with your friends, for sure. Than others, I mean, like relatively. If he does hook me, I'm just gonna give up. We already had one guy give up in this match, which is kind of a shame. I'm not gonna lie, and I hate to jinx it potentially, but it does feel like they're gone. You've done it now, it's over, I know. It does feel like they're gone. Like something I did. Oh, no. Wait. Maybe? I don't know. It's really hard to tell, though. They've gotten better, though, to the point where it's hard to tell now. Because before it was super obvious. If I just run down this thing in a straight line. Oh, I'm trying to test something. I don't know. It's gotten better, though. Like, I can barely tell. Let's just give up. Give him a chance to get out. I don't know. I feel like it's getting to the point where it's not that noticeable. I don't know if I should try overclocking, because that's, like, not a good idea. I do think this computer is on its last legs regardless, so maybe hitting the overclock isn't a bad idea to get some extra juice out of it. I mean, it's lasted me 10 years, so I mean, it's pretty fucking solid, right? Jittery Jared. And this fucking loser just gave up immediately. Always a shame. EBD experience. $3,500 hours? God, people play this game a lot. Let's see if Mr. Dwight gets out. Oh, good job, Dwight. Ready to be gaming. Happy motherfucking. That was a bit bad though. He didn't hug that corner as tight as he could have. He ain't gonna let you leave, bruh. This is pretty much a god ballad though. Yeah, that's a lot, haha. Ooh. Isn't this a god ballad? Like, I'm pretty sure. Oh, he had bloodlust though, to be fair. How many hours do you have against something? How many hours do you have? You know what I should do? I should add to this command that you're a filthy DVD degenerate. I should do that. When an item becomes depleted for the first time, it is dropped. See the auras of dropped items. Survivors within 12 meters of dropped items have their auras revealed. When a survivor picks up an item, they suffer from the oblivious stat effect for 30 seconds. Maybe it was just me suffering from the oblivious stat. Insti has me in its clutches and it's comfy here. Well, fair enough. Nothing wrong with wanting to be comfy. You do you. You ain't hurting anybody. I'm just messing with you. Just shy of 1K-ish, maybe. That's a fucking lie. As you're playing DVD, it's kind of implied. You're not wrong. 2K-ish. No, you're at like... Okay, it's rounding down. 3K? I can just fucking check. 3K and a half-ish. Are you at 4K now? No way. What the fuck? How many? I'm about to go check. You're fucking. You're making this too. You're making this too difficult. I'm checking. I'm spying. I'm peeping. What do you got? Oh, you hit the 4,000 mark. Goddamn. Goddamn. Why have to take you to a therapist? Have an intervention for your DVD addiction? Do not shame me. Small amounts of shame. Small amounts of shame. Man, that's more than I've played any game, right? Yeah, you've beaten me by quite a lot. What did I hit on Tarkov? Wait, shit, did I hit 4K on Tarkov? I did hit 4K on Tarkov, didn't I? I can't remember what I had at the end. I'm pretty sure I hit 4K. Only 6K more and you'll be an expert. Hey, hell yeah, dude, you're almost halfway there. I hit 4K on Tarkov, I'm pretty sure. Might have gotten close to 4.5, actually. Buffkins is gonna pass me. She's gonna have played more of one game than I have. That's pretty nuts. Does it really count as being an expert, though, in something like Tarkov or something like DVD, because the game changes so often? Like, a lot of the knowledge that you're learning, you don't actually keep. That's actually even more of a reason why these games are, like, kind of more brain rotty, because you never actually get that good at them. Like, if you take any other skill in life, the more time you put into it, you get better at it. You know what I mean? But with something like this, you get worse sometimes just because the game updates. You know what I mean? And shit changes. And so your knowledge and stuff is, like, less useful. Whereas, like, something like carpentry, you're never going to get worse at it. You're just going to, like, I mean, your skills are going to degrade if you don't use them. But there's never an update to carpentry. You know what I mean? That changes how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, everything you know is relevant forever. Whereas DVD, you stop playing for 2 years, you come back and, like, half the shit's changed. Same thing with Tarkov. Like, it's just like parts of the game are just, like, completely different. So it's like even like less useful time to spend. You don't get to like retain your knowledge, it feels like. I mean, you could say, like, what's the point of playing a single player game for 5,000 hours, you know what I mean? When they add the metal wood hybrid update, then it'll be interesting. Oh, you're talking about carpentry. Yeah. When they add wood bending, that's when I'm in, dude. That's when I'm becoming a carpentry man. Wood bending is my jam. Michaela does not look great in that Hot Wheels outfit. Speedrunning is the point of spending that much time in a single player game. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Like, there's not really that many games you can spend thousands of hours in and really not see everything. Like, it's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not that, like, there's maybe a couple games out there, but, like, very, very few. No, I don't even know that there is. I mean, even something like Factorio, or you need something with, like, mod support. You know what I mean? You need something with, like, mod support. But I'm talking about something that, I mean, mods are basically updates. You know what I mean? Mods are basically updates. Like, I'm talking about something that doesn't change. You know what I mean? Like, it just does not change. Like, no added DLCs, no free LCs, no mods, you know what I mean? No add-ons, like, no, like, sequels, new episodes, nothing like that. Just a game, one game, it's launched, it has everything in it. How many hours can you get out of it? What would be the maximum? You know what I mean? What would be the biggest games out there that came with everything? You know what I mean? Like, how much time could you get out of them? I mean, obviously it depends on the person, but during every dialogue line in Baldur's Gate 3, that's a good one, actually. Yeah, those games are very expansive, like Baldur's Gate 3, Divinity Original Sin. And Baldur's Gate will be the biggest one yet, so that's actually probably very high up on that list. Could be at the top. I mean, my mind goes to something like Skyrim, right? Skyrim, like Fallout. Those games are very expansive and they have a lot to look at. But, I mean, you could do it all in one playthrough and eventually you'll start breezing through that stuff pretty easily. I mean, there is different choices, but the choices really aren't that different. So I think those games end up being a little bit more limited than they seem. It's just that people tend to do multiple playthroughs, which means you repeat some of the same content. Got a Freddy, by the way. Very common. Mr. Fredman. Does he have Ruin? Seems like Ruin. I will make it, so I should probably save if I can. Run. This is not great for us. I didn't want him to tunnel, but it's smart of him to go back to the hook. That's a nice trade out of it. Look around for Ruin, maybe. Go a med kit. I went up to the roof. Getting back on the gen. Let's see if the totem that always spawns there is there. Oh, unfortunate. I have Iron Will. I now realize I'm in here. Legendary Ruin. Dying as well, or maybe Devour. Now we would have seen him dying by now. That was Devour. I'm gonna look around for a totem, but dude, how is he so fast? I don't feel like get there in time. Freddy's kind of kicking her ass. It is a decent killer map, though. You guys pain rats? No. Got rid of his totem, though. I think it had to be Devour. But he's got Devour. Devour Ruin. Thank you, friend. I've gotten one gen, by the way. It's unfortunate. Pretty bad. This has been hitting us with a lot of pressure, honestly. If it has survivor item into DVD, what would it be? A gun. No, that's the common joke. Maybe like distraction item. Maybe like not have to use a perk for like something like diversion. That could be interesting, you know what I mean? Like a rock. I mean, obviously a little bit cooler than a rock, maybe. Maybe like an ATV, you know what I mean? You hop on, drive around a little bit. Now, I honestly think that what DVD needs... Fucking driving us home. I think, honestly, what DVD needs is survivors need to have to do something else. Like, I think base kit no-ed would actually be really good for the game. I think, like, base kit no-ed... or some other objective to like actually engage the generators, if that makes sense. I know base kit no-ed like freaks all the survivors out. They start like having a panic attack, but base kit no-ed are actually really good for the game. But they would have to change totems. I think that there should be base kit no-ed, and every killer should get 1 hex perk by default. Like, they should have their 4 perks, and they have 1 hex perk on top of it. I could have dropped that. I didn't think I had time. Fuck, I fucked this up. I thought I had more distance. I thought I had more distance. I was trying to do the loop in here. I think if you would have to rebalance some of the hex perks, absolutely. But I think that snowbally, if you like snowbally hex perks, or perks that give like a lot of value, and then having it as a default thing, and then having base kit no-ed would help a lot with the early game. I also maybe think base kit corrupt, and then all of a sudden I think that a lot of the game would be a little bit more balanced, because survivors wouldn't just be able to gen rush. Like, there'd be a downside to gen rushing. The early game wouldn't just fly by like the first 2 generators. And if you had a base kit hex perk, you can have a bit of snowball potential, so that way they're kind of always incentivized to be doing this second objective. Otherwise, you can snowball. Whereas if there's no snowball potential, then they're just going to cleanse all the totems when they have free time. They're not going to think of it as high priority until the end of the game, where they're already the ones in the advantage. So I think like stuff like Ruin and Devour are like really good snowball perks, and those will force the survivors to be like, shit, we need to cleanse some totems, or like find the totems. You could make it that they have to cleanse like a certain amount of totems, or you can make it like an entire different objective for the no-ed. That could work too, potentially. That was nauseating. I think there is ideas to where you can improve the game a lot in terms of the gameplay flow, and make it more of... I mean, rapid. And he did have Undying. I didn't see a Dual Totem at any point. That's interesting. He had Surveillance. Surveillance is pretty good on Freddy. Oh, did he have the jump rope as well? Yeah, very smart. Very smart friend. Nice job. I like that combo. Because outdoor rope plus surveillance, you can hear the repair sounds from an additional 16 meters, which is insane. So if they're in the dream world and they're repairing a generator, like, man, you can hear them from so far. It's crazy. I think there is a lot of ideas you could do to improve the gameplay, like, loop of DBD. Like, and make the matches more of that kind of back and forth, and a little bit less like this, like, just like really rushed feeling, if that makes sense. and make the killers feel like they have a little bit more time to do things, make the survivors feel like they have a little bit more decision making and stuff to do. But they don't want to do all that. That's like too much thinking for the survivors, I feel like. They like to keep the game like super simple and easy. That's why they gave everybody Survivor UI. Like, the survivors don't like to think in this game, sadly. It's interesting because I feel like the killer players in this game like love the intensity. And they love that 4v1 like kind of challenge. But then the survivors really love that like fucking easy mode, like just chill casual experience. It's like very like polarizing sides of like the gaming community, it feels like. Like there is some overlap, don't get me wrong. Like some killer players are having a good time or just doing their challenges. Some survivor players are also sweaty as fuck and, you know, want a good challenge and a fun match. But I feel like it's definitely two sides of different coin, to be honest. Like pretty far apart. Pretty separated realities. Not realities, but just like drive and intention. They want very different things. Is my GPU running at like 76 Celsius at all times? Is that bad? I think that's bad, right? I don't know, it's a little high to be like a stable. I kind of maybe would want it to go a little bit lower than that. But I mean, my GPU fans, I don't think I can control those. They just control themselves, right? Well, maybe I can control that in the NVIDIA control panel. I don't know, GPU fans worry me a little bit more though, because they're a lot smaller. And because they have to be attached to the GPU, I feel like cranking those things up is kind of a dangerous thing. If you crank them up too much and they burn themselves out, your GPU is like fucking toast. It'll burn fast. So, like maybe that's what happened to my other one, to be honest. My other graphics card. I don't know that I ever checked that. I was a lot less like computer savvy and just like intelligent back then, so I didn't really know what I was doing. So honestly, my computer was dying, and I was just like, I don't know what's wrong. It's dying. But I mean, I found out it was my GPU because it just stopped registering. Actually, I mean, to be fair, I must have found out somehow because I like kind of processed what was happening and figured out it was my GPU. I don't know how long it took me, to be fair. I don't know how long it took me. It might have taken a while. Dude, where the fuck are the matches? Match. I think I should. I don't know, I feel like it's a smoother experience. I feel like it's running pretty smooth today. Not sure. Definitely not as miserable as the other days. Like there's a bit of like real hope in my heart. Possibly a good thing. Possibly a good thing. I mean, to be fair, I needed a bit of hope because I've been fucking running on fumes the last couple days. Ah, yes. Popular upcoming games on Steam. Sexbot. Great. Can't wait for that game to come out. So excited. So many sex games on Steam. They're always on, like, have you noticed that? Have you noticed, actually, that they're always on popular upcoming, but they're never on, like, new and trending, I feel like? Oh, no, maybe they are. Maybe they are, actually. I don't know. Can't remember if they're on new and trending or not. I'll keep an eye out from now on. They're always on popular upcoming, though. I know that for a fact. I always see lots of porn games on there. But I don't know if I see lots of them on, new and trending. Alright, let's do it up. That was killing? Didn't burn offering. Definitely just got a stutter. I don't think anything specific happened though. There's a bit of a dip in my CPU usage. But nothing specific. What are you running for? What is that? Oh my god, it's night. What the fuck? People play that killer shit? Wow. Something to hide his terror radius. Not super common though, that's fair. I had to get out of there because once he gets his ability, I'm fucked. I just gotta run. Been training occasionally, not super common, that's fair. Got that ruin. A lot of people using ruin all of a sudden. I'm definitely still getting some stutters, but they have gotten better. If I try overclocking the CPU, is that a bad idea? That's a pretty bad idea, isn't it? I don't know. I'm desperate. I might just fucking do it, dude. I might just pull the trigger and just fucking hit the button. I mean, there's just a button that does it, so I'm kind of heavily considering it. Maybe it's worth it. Give it a try, see what happens, right? I mean, worst case, I just turn it off, right? Well, no, worst case, it fucking burns my CPU. Possible. But if it's an automatic thing, it should be relatively safe, right? Is this person actually giving up? Dude, why do you think people that play this game fucking pathetic? I don't understand it. Hello. You can't actually keep doing that. If I keep doing that forever, they can report me. If I do it a little bit, I think I have plausible deniability. I never really held them hostage. I kind of just annoyed them. If I like kept doing it though, you can definitely get banned for that. Why I don't do that, but because you could technically like keep them in the game. Well, I mean, you can't keep them forever, but you keep them for a long time. People cannot handle losing this game. We're not even losing though. That's the thing. Like, we're not even losing. Like, she's just giving a, like, she literally, that was the first hook of the game. That was the first hook of the match. We were doing absolutely fine, to be honest. She's just a little loser, to be honest. Like, that's just all it is. Pathetic. She got hooked, she lost, yeah. Like, I'm tired of people, like, not calling these people what they are, man. Like, they're pathetic. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they get any kind of validation for that behavior. Like, they should be pointed at and laughed at. Like, silly. Look at this. It's so pathetic. Anything other than gen rushing and bullying, losing, yeah. Yeah. We'll just give up too, because not a real match at this point. Let's move on to the next one. I feel like that's the best thing you can do with people like this, is just like keep them in the match as long as possible and try and get out of the match as fast as possible for yourself. Your only choice, really. I used to just a distraction. To be fair, she gets to go play another match though. It was refreshing to see. Was it somebody that I've played against on stream before? Played against like 2 streamers on stream. Actually 3. I guess we're talking about them in a positive way, actually, to be fair. Was it Spookinjukes? Is that his name? Spookinjukes? There's two of them that have very similar names. Oh, Tofu. Okay, I don't know that. I recognize that name, but I haven't watched them before. But Spookinjukes, I've seen him like campaigning on Twitter, to be honest, about how people should like treat them that way. I mean, I've been saying this for like fucking years, but more recently people are. Oh, actually, that person is slugging them out. Nice. Plus, love to see it. It's refreshing to see more people are getting on board with it. Interesting. I've never seen that person's content, so maybe I'll check it out. I respect people who aren't like afraid to fucking say how pathetic some parts of the DVD community are, because like the only way it gets better is if we fucking call it out. You know what I mean? Like that's how you deal with shitty people. Saying this stuff for years, yeah. People are too afraid to speak up though, especially because the DVD community is very like they witch hunt like super hard. So if you're someone with any kind of like following or something, you don't want to step on any toes. Like, I don't give a shit because one, I hate pandering to people, especially controlling people like that. And two, I couldn't give a shit about this game, to be honest. Like, I want the game to be good, but I know it never will be, so I don't really give a shit. So, if the community hates me, it does not bother me in the slightest. I mean, I talk mad shit about the DVD community because they deserve it, to be honest. Not everybody in the community, obviously, but just DVD is definitely a cesspool, and everybody kind of needs to work to make it better. To be fair, the devs enable it, though. The devs hardcore enable it. Like, the devs are a big part of the problem. It's like, if you think about a spoiled child, is it really the child's fault, or is it the parents? You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the DVD community. The devs are enabling the behavior. Like, but the thing is that the DVD community isn't children. They're adults. You know what I mean? Or at least teenagers. So they should be able to, you know, not be pathetic and be insufferable, but behavior enabling the behavior, yeah. But behavior is not empty of blame. They definitely deserve some stern talking to for the way that they manage this game in the community. I'm surprised that lasted so long. Is he really gonna slug me? Please don't tell me he's actually gonna slug me. He's just being stupid at this point. Like, fair enough. Oh, you can see the crystal in your head. Picking me up? Pick me up. Why, bro? Why? He slugged the other girl, too. Why is he trying to make this more insufferable than it needs to be? Okay, pick me up. Okay. I guess she got playthings, so she just gave up. That's probably why she gave up. Very pathetic. But... kill me faster. It's funny though, because when you look at the profiles of these people that give up, they're not new players to the game. You know what I mean? They're not new players just like not understanding and, you know, getting angry and frustrated. They are people who have played thousands of hours of this game and they still act that way. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like, if you have long-standing like community members of your game, obviously maybe not community members, but players of your game. If you have long-standing players of your game acting that way, that is a serious problem. You know what I mean? Like, these are the people that are supposed to like love your game and want it to grow, want it to flourish. But no, they're just pathetic little losers. Like, that's a pretty big fucking issue. You know what I mean? Like, but behavior's enabled it because they like to pander to people and validate people to keep the numbers up. It's sad, to be honest. Plot twist. She's plot twisting in the fucking... She can't do it though. Wait, why can't she do it? Wait, what? Or is she being slugged? She might be being slugged. What the fuck? How long has she been slugged in the fucking thing? Because if she's able to plot twist... If you're able to plot twist, you're able to recover, right? Oh, she used the unbreakable, I think. No, yeah, she shouldn't. So yeah, he did slug her. Why did she wiggle? I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care what happens. Dumb match. Very dumb match. Now, yeah, it's like super entitled, like spoiled tantrum behavior. The whole like giving up. Like, I don't mind if people DC. That's the thing. Like, it is important to differentiate and distinguish the difference. That when people DC, there's an actual possibility that they had something that they needed to go and do. You know what I mean? And that's perfectly okay. Real life comes first. Real life responsibilities. I never get people mad at people for actually DCing. Like, it sucks, it ruins the match, but you don't know what's happening on the other end. They could actually be dealing with something quite important. You know what I mean? Like, they could be hurt, someone they know could be hurt, you know what I mean? Like, they could, you know, their job could be in trouble, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it may be, there could be something actually going on. It could be like an internet thing, it could be a power thing. But when people are actively giving up in DVD, that's not what's happening. What's happening is they're mad and they're throwing a little tantrum because they want to go to the next match and they have no care about anyone else in the match that's with them, and they're just incredibly self-absorbed and selfish and entitled. And so they throw their little tantrum, they leave the match, and then they go queue for another one, not giving a single fuck about the 4 other people that they just wasted their time. That's what's actually happening. And it's really fucking sad that it's such a common occurrence in DVD. And some people validate it and say, oh, just let them go next, bro. Just let them go next. They shouldn't be forced to play the match. Why are they forced to play the game? That's crazy. It's like, you pressed the button. Yes, you are forced to play the game because you pressed the fucking button. If you do not want to play a match of DVD, crazy revelation, don't press the button. It's insane. Like, if the game, while you were spending blood points, just threw you into a match without you fucking pressing anything, then I would agree. Like, what the fuck? Why are you forcing people to play this match that they didn't sign up for? You pressed the button. Look at the button. Look at the button. It says play. I clicked it. I have now confirmed that I am playing this match. Not only that, but I have to press the button, and then I have to wait for a lobby. Then I have to press the button again and ready up in said lobby. Okay? Like, you have to press the button twice to confirm that you want to play a match. You are confirming that you will play the entirety of a match. Like, how is that so hard for people to understand? Like, I swear people are dumb. The killer stopped me from playing. No, yeah. Like, it's crazy the arguments that people have. It's insane. It's insane. Like, as soon as people try and validate the whole giving up on hook thing, I'm just like, immediately you are a, like, low intelligence person. Like, how can you validate someone just being a self-absorbed, entitled little asshole? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, I would totally agree if the game just threw you into a match randomly. Like, if you were on the fucking lobby screen, like, if I load up the game and I just, you know, go AFK and just randomly I end up in a match and then I get penalized if I want to not play it, then I would totally agree. But you have to press the button. Like, you have to press the button. Why is that so hard for people to understand? I don't know. I'm just on a higher plane of existence, apparently, to be able to understand this concept. It's actually wild. I don't know, man. It's crazy. The mental gymnastics that some people do, like, I've talked about it. I've talked about it on stream before, but, like, people will convince themselves of things that never, like, are just so detached from reality. It's wild. Like, the human brain has a way of, like, detaching itself from reality and just, like, creating things. And some people, they just latch onto these things, and you try and reason with them. You try and explain things to them, but they're living in a world that doesn't exist. Like, you can't logic with them. You can't reason with them because the reasoning that's going on in their head is based on nothing. It's based on nothing. It's completely fabricated. Like, it's like you can't reason with those people. Like, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you provide cold, hard facts, they will disregard them because it does not match their reality. And they really believe that their reality is real, even though it's based on nothing sometimes. It's crazy. And it really hurts people who try and be logical, right? People who try and be logical and truthful and base things off of the reality that we have, because there's this element in your mind, and everybody knows it. It's the whole point of gaslighting, right? It's the whole reason that gaslighting is a thing, is that when someone believes something, you believe them because you assume that they have the same logical explanation for things that you have, which is that if you believe in something wholeheartedly, if you are very passionate about your belief in something, that it must be founded on something. But those people don't abide by those rules. So they trick you, like legitimately trick you into thinking that they have something to base their like their concept of reality in. Like, it's wild to me. It's wild, and it really hurts people who are logical because you try to understand the perspective, but the perspective is based on nothing, and you get gaslit into thinking that maybe they're right, maybe you're the one who's wrong, because they so strongly believe something that just isn't true. But you think that, oh well, they so strongly believe it, there must be something behind it. And it's just like the whole concept of gaslighting is just it's like some people don't even do it intentionally. They just are. They just think some wild things. They think some wild things and they make some shit up. It's crazy to me. I'm sorry. Rant over. Classic survival heroes unite. And Leon. Got the Leon Ada duo. We got Rebecca. We got James. James Sunderland. That's his name, right? What the fuck is that? Oh, I thought it was a woman. He was singing. Could be a woman, Pinhead. Should have that skin. Pretty cool. Be pretty sick. Throw it at the box. Do that dodge. Ooh. 360. Mindbreaker.
The box. You opened it.
I came. He doesn't say I came for everybody. It's a personal thing. And break the single franchise boundary. That's true. I don't find it fun to face Pinhead, to be honest. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. There's other killers I hate more. Nemesis. Nemesis. Wraith a bit. I don't really enjoy Wraith that much. Chucky I really hate. I really fucking hate playing against Chucky. Chucky might be my least favorite killer right now. Like, legitimately, Chucky might be my least favorite killer. We could actually do a tier list. That'd be kind of fun. Tier list of my most fun killers to face. You can find a tier list. I'll do one. I'm done. I'll find one for you. Hell yeah. We can do it pretty soon because I'm not gonna play too many more matches. This might be the last match, honestly, and then we can do that. I think that's a good thing. I've been on for like 4 hours. Find one. What do you mean? What's so funny? Implying that she's not gonna find one. She already has one? She's had one loaded and ready for this very moment. Possibly. Never know. And now she just has to pretend she's taking the time to find it. Okay. I think I might try overclocking my CPU because I can't think of anything else to do at this point. The only thing else I was gonna do is run like a long-term memory diagnostic test just to make sure it's not my RAM. But I mean, I have no reason to think it's my RAM. I'm just, you know, spitballing, fucking throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Cannot believe you think that somebody banned this man for slanderous accusations. I absolutely had one on hand. To be fair, I don't blame you. You probably had it bookmarked or something. That's not that weird. I mean, I probably would bookmark a Tarkov tier list. Like, I'm just cranking away on generators. My team's out there fucking struggling, solving boxes, getting fucking hung up on hooks, getting chained. I'm just out here, just having a little repair. I'm supposed to be the medic. Turns out I'm the fucking engineer. Working on the gens. Oh my god. Pain res. Disgusting. I'm about to rage quit. Used a gen defense perk. That's horrid. How could he? How dare he, honestly? How fucking dare he? Use a gen defense perk? What year is it? Oh my god, 2018, bro? Using gen defense in 2024? It's actually more important to use gen defense now than ever, but... Well, maybe not than ever, but it's pretty important right now. It's pretty important. I mean, I do see a little bit more variety. There has been more gen-focused metas, to be fair. Yeah, this one isn't too bad, to be fair. This, the metas currently. But, oh, maybe a Jolt, actually. Not a Jolt. I thought he was much farther away. Sloppy? Wow. I thought you were a Rebecca fan. Maybe you are a Rebecca fan, but just for the memes. Should work on this. Come back. Probably gonna get chased. Wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I don't dislike him. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Fair. I wouldn't say I'm a fan either, but I don't dislike him. He's alright. I like Jill, actually. I've become a fan of Jill now. I like Jill. Feels pretty cool. Go for the save. I might tunnel. I'm gonna go for a body block, maybe. Oh, he's not tunneling. This guy's not doing anything. James? I don't know what the pinhead's doing, because he must come and check this gen soon, but it's okay if I get chased. I don't want to lead him to his box, but I also don't want to lead him to other people. Run around the house, maybe. Trying to make some noise. Didn't realize I'm in here. Back on the gen, maybe. Box is gonna need to be done at some point. What the fuck is that man doing? He's doing some fucking hard shit? Wow, so useful, bro. It's fine. I wanna waste my med kit. He has sloppy. Found the box. Totem. Over there. I'll go for the box. I haven't been hooked yet. Oh fuck. They're dying and James isn't doing a fucking gen. James is getting the box, but she died. What happened? This game was going so smooth.
You opened it.
Oh, he's working on that gen. Silly. Crank the gen. He's gonna come back though. Oh, maybe not, he's just gonna kill Leon instead. I don't think we get this done in time. Actually, we might. Power of two of us and deja vu, maybe? now. James really threw, to be honest. James threw this match. Like James' fault specifically. It's annoying. I don't know what he was doing that whole time. I don't think he was doing anything. Maybe he was just doing event stuff. He thought it was going to be an easy match doing event stuff. I don't really blame him too much, I guess. It is the event. He is the reason we lost, but it is just an event. This guy really wants his dub, man. He wants that dub. You can only kick the gen so many times. I mean, fuck it, maybe we got a chance.
You opened it.
Definitely still getting some stutters. He's gonna come back though. Deja vu, do that shit! Come back. God, James got back on a gen though. What a giga chad. Maybe we can do this. It's halfway. I gotta loop out of my mind here. Fuck, that hits me. He's almost done though. He's almost done. He's almost done. He's almost done. I'm exhausted though. I'm not gonna get my adrenaline. I've got to get my adrenaline back. I've got to walk. No, don't finish it just yet, James. Let's go, James! Let's go, James! Oh fuck, he's gonna die from my sins though. He went into the void? I think he's fucked. If I die, I'm okay with that. One of us gets to live at least. No, he makes it? No shot, bro. That's crazy. He's recovering really fast. Maybe he has adrenaline? This guy's not very good. Or not adrenaline, sorry, I meant unbreakable. What the fuck? What is he doing? I'm just gonna run to the exit gate. If he wants to kill me, he wants to kill me. Game's over at this point. You want my item? No, apparently. Ah, oh, fuck, man. I can't believe he made it back in time. That's unfortunate. The portal, man. The portal.
I must be going.
Imagine if I Kobe. Imagine if I Kobe. I don't understand. Did a great job looping long enough for James to get the gen. I really didn't do that much looping, to be fair. I did a decent job on the pallet, but not amazing. I could have went around for another loop. I stuck around at the short side and did the slide at the end, which got me hit. But I did all right. I mean, that bad ham's pretty fucking easy to loop, to be fair. I did decent. I didn't make any like huge mistakes. James did a good job getting on the gen at the end, but he just didn't do gens. Weirdly enough, he just didn't do gens. Kind of let down the team. Kind of unfortunate. I was getting some stutters at the end there. I'm kind of curious if I can see anything in the in my afterburner and see if there's anything that kind of looks like suspicious. I mean, there's some dips in my power. There's some dips in GPU usage, but it's not like major dips. It's very small. Like it dips down to like 80%. I mean, that's enough though. Is there anything that lines up with that? Maybe some dips in power? Well, that might just be because it's using it less. You know what I mean? Kind of hard to judge. I mean, it would jump up. If it was CPU bottlenecking, it would jump up, right? Instead of jumping down. Looks like my CPU usage is like going down. Maybe my power supply is like fucked. But I don't know. It doesn't really look like anything lines up on the chart like too perfectly. I don't know. GG. Yeah, I think he was just walking around doing event stuff the entire time because he thought it was going to be an easy match, and then everybody started dying. I don't really blame him too much at the end of the day. Eruption, interesting. I don't know. GG. GG. Create a DVD tier list. DVD tier list. Only 4 tiers. Hello, bro. You can make more though. Alright, well, that was an alright match to end it on, I guess. I can't believe he got the fucking teleport right next to the exit gate I was on too. What a lucky fuck. What a lucky fuck. There's no, I mean, maybe he could have known. There is a chance he could have known, but that guy seemed pretty simple in his gameplay. He just held W the entire time. He didn't try and use his chains at all. I think he probably just got lucky, to be honest. Probably just got lucky. Peak fun, a lot of fun, usually fun, sometimes fun, no fun. No fun. No fun. No fun at all. Are you hiding your thing? That's fair. All right, let me bring this up on screen and we can do a little tier list. Still thinking. Gotcha. Let me cook. I'm letting you cook. Okay, I'm gonna do a window cap. So I might add more tiers. We're gonna go through it and then we'll decide. Trapper. We're gonna go through each one once and then I'll move them around and make new tiers and stuff. Trapper. I think Trapper's decently fun to go against. There's funny moments and stuff. You know what I mean? Bless you, thank you. I think there's funny moments and stuff when playing against a Trapper. One sec. Like there's funny moments, funny stuff happens. Maybe only B though. He's not like the most fun to play against, but I think he's decently fun. I don't hate going against Trapper. He's also very weak, so he's inherently more fun to play against. Wraith, I really don't like Wraith, to be honest. I really don't like playing against Wraith. I feel like something about Wraith is just like, it's just kind of anti-fun. Like, you can't really make any like good reads on where he's gonna go, and he kind of just shows up and gets injured for free a lot of the time. And there's not much you can do against it except just accept it on some gens. I feel like he's kind of a low tier fun for me. Like, I don't really enjoy playing against Wraith. I've never really enjoyed playing against Wraith. I think he's just a bit too like, it's just a bit too like uninteractive. You know what I mean? He gets hits and then he kind of just goes stealth, breaks all the pallets, and just eventually catches you in a dead zone. Honestly, yeah, I'd put Wraith like down because that's exactly how the gameplay goes. If you think about it, think about Wraith matches. It's finds you on a gen, injures you, and then tries to like leave the chase if it's like a bad chase. If you're in somewhere where he actually has to chase you around like a window or something, he doesn't have bamboozle, he'll just leave, and then you have to get healed up before next time he finds you. Otherwise, he just gets the free down because he just gets the injure for free on the generator. And if he does chase you, because you're not at somewhere super strong, it's just pallets, it's just the like stealth mind game, and he just breaks the pallets and then like eventually catches you in a dead zone. It's like always what happens. To be fair, the stealth breaking, once you know about that part of the game, like the Wraith gameplay, you can kind of like do some funny shit, and like there's some interaction there with like knowing that he's gonna bait the stealth and stuff like that. So I feel like that does actually move him up to C tier for me. I do feel like Trapper is just easier to play against, and so that makes him inherently a bit more fun. But you could say he's a bit uninteractive as well. Also, you can have some stupid shit going on with like camp in the basement and stuff. But I find that stuff at least entertaining because you don't see it very often. So I feel like that kind of goes into it, that you don't see him all that often. Maybe I shouldn't take that into account though. Maybe I should not take in frequency. Yeah, maybe I should not take into frequency into account because that's gonna mess with stuff a lot. If I don't take frequency into account, I'd probably say Trapper is like less fun because it's not fun to get basemented and shit. Like if he's actually doing like a good basement build and stuff, it's unfun. Hillbilly's actually very high on my fun list personally. I really enjoy playing against Hillbilly. Seeing them like fly, zoom around the map. The only bad thing about playing against Hillbillies is that some of them are fucking cracked, and it's like fucking pain to play against a cracked one. You just get rolled super quick. But I can at least appreciate the skill that goes into it, and I feel like dodging the chainsaw of like average skill billies is actually a lot of fun. And I've had a lot of good moments in DVD just dodging Hillbilly's chainsaw. But I am talking about the Hillbilly of now rather than the Hillbilly of the past. He's up there. I don't know if he's SS, but he's up there. Nurse, I actually controversially really like to play against Nurse. I think it's very fun to play against a Nurse. The super sweaty nurses obviously make it a lot less fun. It's kind of the same as Hillbilly. But Nurse ends up being a lot more dominant just in general. So I do think she's a lower level than Hillbilly because you end up having a lot more like dominated matches with Nurse. But I do think that dodging her blinks and stuff has also been some of my most fun moments in DVD. Like I love dodging Nurse. So very fun. Michael's pretty fucking low, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna say it now. Michael, either you fucking roll him and he barely gets a hook, right? He gets like maybe a couple hooks at best, or he has Tombstone or something and the game just isn't fun because there's no looping that takes place. It's just rush generators and jump in lockers. Like, that's the entire game. So I don't know. I feel like Michael's really low on the fun list. Hag, I kind of feel like Hag's the same as Trapper. Like, there's a bit of fun to be had. She actually goes up in my list, I think, because of being able to wipe away the traps now. But I still don't think she's a very, like, fun killer overall. But I haven't played against her that much with wiping away the traps. But I do think I enjoy her more than Wraith now. To be honest, I enjoy Trapper more. He's just easier to face. Like, he's just easy. I'd rather see a Trapper than a Hag, too. We're gonna move around more later, but... Doctor... I don't hate Doctor, to be honest. His shocks aren't the most fun thing to loop against in the world, but I don't hate it. I would say B tier. I think I need another tier for sure, but we'll do that in a second. Huntress, I really like playing as Huntress. I think that her hatchet throws are super fun to try and dodge. She might be S tier, honestly. I really like trying to play against like Huntresses and dodge the hatchets and all this stuff. Woodsy creatures, yeah. So I do really like that. I do really like that. Let's make another tier. Like, add a row below. I call this the E tier. Make it orange. Oh, wait, no, we're gonna make it more green. All right. Oops. Yeah, I fucked up the window capture. Professional streamer. Give me a second. That's fine. I totally know what I'm doing, guys. We're good. Full difficulty. All right. Dracula. I haven't played against him that much. I think he's decent, though. I think he's decently fun to play against. I'd put him here for now. I'm not exactly sure. Bubba's gotta go down. Sorry. I wish that Bubba's were fun to play against, but the natural playstyle of Bubba is just not fun to play against. Bubba's are like some of the most unfun things to play against just because of how people play the character. Like, if they're playing him legitimately, like, well, I say legitimately, if they're playing him like a fun, like, going for hooks and chases kind of way, he's actually really fun to play against. But that's not how most people play him. So we got to base it on actual reality, which is everybody just fucking camps hooks. So it's like as best as they can. Even though there's like tons of ways not to camp hooks. Like, the amount of Bubbas that get played now is so much lower now that he can't camp as well. So that's pretty low. Freddy is probably D tier for me. Well, no, he's a bit higher just because he's like not the worst. I probably enjoy him more than Trapper and stuff. That's probably D tier. Those two are probably D tier. Yeah, I like that better. Pig, I like Piggy. Piggy's up there for me. I like Piggy. Probably more than Nurse, to be honest. I feel like Piggies don't really tend to play in fun ways. Because she's such a weak killer. But I like the head traps, and I like just seeing Pig in general. Also, she's pretty easy to face, so it just ends up being like a little bit of like not stressful fun. Clown is down there, honestly. I really don't like playing against Clown, actually. He's one of my least favorite to play against, to be honest. He's just, like, his chases just aren't interactive. Like, they're just not interactive. He might be E tier for me, actually. Do I really hate playing against Clown that much? I think I do. I think I'd rather... No, Tombstone is so unfun. I think I'd rather see a Clown. I actually kind of prefer Tombstone. Is that wild? That is a little wild. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. Spirit, I'm going to say it. Spirit is not that fun to play against anymore. Well, actually, you can kind of hear it coming and stuff. It's fun to play as Survivor, not fun to play as Killer. Yeah. Tombstone is extreme, but can make for a kind of funny match. Yeah, I kind of agree, and it at least like switches up the gameplay a lot. Like you start jumping in lockers and stuff, which is very different from every other killer. So at least it's unique. You know what I mean? And it's nice to try and figure out what kind of Michael it is. Even if the match is a roll, it's at least interesting. You know what I mean? I agree with you on that. Spirit is so much easier now that it kind of makes for a funny match just because it's so easy for the survivors. So Legion's not that fun to play against, but I don't hate it as much as other people. I think Legion's like low tier for me, but maybe not that low tier. Plague, I actually like, but also hate Plague at the same time. She's got to be probably above Legion, though, right? Because there's more interactive gameplay, but she's also a stronger killer, which kind of makes her lower down. Ooh. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know where to place those two. They're pretty close to each other, though, because they kind of are very similar. Ghostface, I'm sorry to say it, but Ghostface is fun solely for the reason that he's really easy to beat. Like, it's like, you play against a Ghostface, and you know that you're just gonna, like, laugh at some point in the match. Because it's, like, legitimately, there's, like, no threat. It's like, there's, like, a little bit of gameplay, but you also don't feel threatened. So, Demogorgon's up there, actually. I really like, I do like playing as Demogorgon. I think that his gameplay and the looping and stuff is at least unique. Oni usually stomps, in my experience. I think that I'm at the MMR where my survivors, like, aren't good enough to face a good Oni. So, when I play against Oni, he usually just stomps the shit out of my teams. And I don't really find him, like, that much fun to dodge and stuff. He's a little bit more fun, but not the most. Deathslinger, I hate to say it, but Deathslinger's like not that interactive, I feel like, to be honest. Like, I feel like when he actually gets a shot off on you, it's like kind of a guaranteed hit. But dodging is kind of fun. So maybe he's like higher up. Maybe he's in like C tier. I don't know. This is getting like a little bit too many in these C tier. We're gonna have to move some stuff around. Pyramid Head? I like Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head's up there for me. I think he's fun. He can tunnel really efficiently, though, which makes for some unfun matches at times. But I do think he's quite up there, because when he isn't tunneling and just trying to dodge the snipes, it's actually pretty fun. Blight, I like Blight. I like playing against Blights. Usually you end up playing against very good Blights, though. I would rather play against a Nurse than a Blight, because I feel like I see Blight more often. But I guess I'm not thinking about pick rates. But I'd rather play against a Blight or a Nurse. I like Blight more, personally. Like, I play Blight a lot, so I can kind of respect good Blights. But Blights tend to be, like, super sweaty. I mean, so do Nurses. But I feel like I rarely play against bad Blights. Sometimes I play against bad Nurses. You know what I mean? And that makes Blight, like, whenever I see a Blight, I'm kind of dreading it a little bit. So I think he might move down to B tier, honestly. Like, I feel like good Blights rarely miss. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like good Blights rarely miss. Whereas a good Nurse, you can still make them miss occasionally. Because not everybody plays well against Nurse, so. Should I make another tier here? I'm not sure about another tier just yet. I kind of feel like I should. One more tier. One more tier. I think that should be enough. One more tier should be enough. I'm just making sure it fits in the screen. We'll move Mr. Vecna. Alright. Vecna. Where do I put Vecna, actually? feel like Vecna's kind of fun to play against, honestly. I feel like he's more fun than Doctor. Probably more fun than Dracula as well. And probably more fun than Pyramid Head. Maybe more fun than Blight? Probably, yeah. I don't think I'd put him up here. I'm not like super happy to see him. But I do think that the chests and stuff make for fun gameplay. Twins. I don't rate twins super highly. Like, dodging Victor is kind of fun, but like, I feel like twins, like the times that you do go against twins, the twins are like kind of fucking sweaty and they know how to play their character pretty fucking well to the point of it not being the most fun match in the world. I don't know. Trickster, I actually kind of like playing as Trickster. I like dodging the knives and stuff like that. Nemesis, fucking trash. This killer is just dumb. Like, the zombies make for a little bit of fun, but I'd rather see a Myers. Like, Myers is moving up, actually, to be honest. Myers is moving up. Honestly, Myers is moving up again. He's moving up another. He's moving up. Nemesis is trash. Is he better than Clown? The zombies add a little bit of fun. Dude, these are definitely my bottom three, dude. Actually, no, Chucky's coming. I fucking hate Chucky. Chucky is like probably one of my least favorite killers to go against. But I'd rather go up against a Chucky or a Bubba. Good question. We'll get there when we get there. Pinhead. I like Pinhead, actually. I like dodging the chains. I like the box mechanic. The problem is that Pinhead usually tends to do well, which kind of lends the matches to being a little bit less fun. Because he just tends to win. Maybe he's like down here. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. We'll leave him there. Artist. Artist, you don't see very many artists, but if we're talking about not seeing very many artists, I feel like my teammates just don't really know how to play against her all that well, but she also usually, the people playing her don't tend to be the greatest, and I've gotten better at actually mind gaming her and stuff, so I feel like she's more up there. Sadako, honestly, I feel like what happens with Sadako is one of my teammates just don't know how to use the tapes, and so they just fucking die, and the match is over. Like, I feel like that's always what happens. So I'm honestly going to put her here. I like playing in Sadako, but I feel like always just one of my teammates gets rolled, and it's just not great. Dredge, I actually really like Dredge. Dredge is actually pretty high for me. I think mind gaming his ability and stuff, once you know how to do it, is really fun. I think the locker mechanic and the locks and the nightfall are all very fun mechanics, honestly. Dredge might be up here, actually. I think I really like Dredge. Wesker's pretty high. I think that, actually, I think Wesker's very fun to play against. Wesker's very fun to play against. Knight has some fun gameplay with the guards and stuff, and there is some fun gameplay to be had, but there's also anti-fun gameplay to be had. He has been changed now, though, to kind of get rid of some of the anti-fun gameplay, and he's quite an easy killer to beat, but I also think that he just has an element of unfunness about him. So I think he's still quite low on the board, but I do think that he's not too bad. Skull Merchant, I mean, Skull Merchant's fucking trash now. My teammates always give up when they play against her, so I feel like she's low just on the fact that people give the fuck up every time they find her. I'd rather play against a Wraith than a Hag, probably, yeah. But I'd rather play against a Wraith or a Skull Merchant. Probably Wraith. But I'd rather play against a Skull Merchant or a Hag. Probably Hag at this point. Skull Merchant or Nemesis? Skull Merchant. I really hate Nemesis. Nemesis or Clown? Kind of just despise playing against Nemesis, though. Clown, I feel like I can at least use pallets. Ooh, Clown's moving up. Nemesis or Bubba? Probably Nemesis. At least the zombies are a little bit entertaining, right? Skull Merchant might be F tier. Just because my teammates give up. No, she's not that bad, though. She's not that bad. Anyways, Singu. We'll go back and we'll look through. Singu, I like playing in Singu. He's not terrible. It's basically you playing DVD in your head to determine killer placements. No, yeah, absolutely. Alien's fun. Alien's fun to play against. with the turrets and stuff. I think Alien's pretty solid. I'm gonna put him in the middle here. We're gonna this middle part needs to be worked out for sure. I've just been throwing stuff in. Chucky's trash. I really hate playing as Chucky. I think I'd rather play against a Skull Merchant than a Chucky. Would I rather play against a Clown or a Chucky? Oh, Chucky's got to be F tier. Chucky's F tier for me. I really hate playing as Chucky. I feel like his ability is like not that hard to use, and it's really hard to dodge, and so it just ends up just feeling pretty pointless a lot of the time, and just like he gets a free hit. And he's also just can M1 you pretty easily, and he just has no other interactive gameplay. Like there's just nothing else going on. I don't know. I don't like him all that much, to be honest. He's better than Clown though, I'd probably say, because like I'd probably rather play against Clown than a Chucky, but I'd probably rather play against a Chucky than a Nemesis. I feel like those are the bottom four. That's interesting. I never knew how much I hated Clown. Well, I knew, but I never really thought about it as much as right now. I do hate Clown. He's just not fun to play against. Chucky's worse, though. Nemesis, I knew I hated. Bubba is just... The problem with Bubba is that it's just like the way people play him. Like, he's super fun if people don't play him like shitheads, but they just want to go for the fucking... the camp strat. I shouldn't say shitheads, because, like, they're not really being assholes unless they're intentionally trying to be assholes. If that's just the way they want to play, then fair enough. You know what I mean? So it's not really shitheads, but it's just super unfun for everybody involved, I feel like. But and they know that. But if that's how they want to play, that's how they want to play. So I shouldn't insult them. I apologize. Skull Merchant's pretty down there just because everybody gives up. Also, I don't find her ability particularly fun or interesting to play against. I also find her character design pretty stupid looking. And the way she walks, stupid in game too, so it's just kind of unpleasant. It's just an unpleasant match. And all my survivors, like, I don't know, it's just like this air of like nobody cares, nobody gives a shit, so it's just kind of gross. Hag, I feel like Hag just doesn't lend to fun gameplay. I feel like Hag just doesn't lend to fun gameplay. We gotta put Unknown somewhere. Wait. Let me move the thing here so you guys can see everything that we're looking at. Have the whole list. Glory. Perfect. Alright. So. Unknown. Where would I put Unknown? I think Unknown's decently fun to play against, but they're a bit strong, and their ability's hard to dodge until you figure it out, and I haven't really quite figured it out yet, so I wouldn't put them too high, but I'd also put them... I think they're up there. They're more fun. I feel like there's interactive gameplay to be had. So, going through the list, I would rather play against a Hag than a Skull Merchant, 100%. I would rather play against a Wraith than a Hag, I think. I would rather play against a Michael than a Wraith. I think that's fair. Would I rather play against a Twins than a Michael? Shit, maybe not, to be honest. No, Victor's fun to dodge and crush, to be fair. Like, that gameplay is pretty interactive. Michael, at the end of the day, all you do is run away and block line of sight, and then you get tombstoned. Not that great. I feel like they're kind of on the same tier, though. Like, unironically. Sadako. Would I rather play against a Sadako or a Twins? Fuck, maybe Twins, honestly. Sadako, I feel like I said, like, I feel like I rarely see her all game. And when she does chase you, it's kind of just M1 gameplay. And one of my teammates just gets killed by a tape. Would I rather play against a Knight or a Twins? Fuck, I'd rather play against Twins. I'd also rather... No. Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. See, now, once you know it starts getting tough, that's when you know they're in the right spot. Fuck, I feel like I'd rather play against Michael. I feel like I'd rather play against Michael than fucking Knight. Michael is rising the ranks, dude. Would I rather play against a Michael or a Twins? I feel like that's where it's like Meh. These two are really close. These two are really close for me, actually. Sadako and Knight. Huh. Knight has been changed now. I'm going to put him above Sadako. They're really close, but I'm going to put him above Sadako on the basis that he's been changed now. And in theory, he should be a lot easier to go against, which obviously is more fun because it's an easier match and you get to relax more. Not like sweat your balls off. But also, a lot of the unfun gameplay that he had that was kind of uncounterable and just kind of like time burning gameplay, like just, you know, dead zoning you, getting into a corner and popping a guard on one side of the pallet, then you run the other side of the pallet. That's been kind of removed more. So on that basis, the gameplay should be more fun, but I haven't really played him enough to know that for certain. But judging the patch notes, I think that's fair, and it's only one position over Sadako, so that's fair. Trickster. Yeah, I think Trickster definitely moves down to D tier. I actually think I'd rather play against Twins. I'd rather play against a Michael or a Trickster. I'd rather play against a Michael. To be honest. I think I'd rather play against a Michael. That's getting close, though. That is getting close, because Trickster can be fun to dodge the knives. I think Michael wins it out, but Trickster's definitely more fun than Knight and Sadako. Absolutely. Fuck, Michael might move up to C tier, dude. I feel like some of these killers up here are less fun for sure. Deathslinger, I'm gonna say it. Deathslinger's not that fun, to be honest. I feel like Deathslinger's there. Yeah, I think Deathslinger's there. Legion. Oof, Legion goes down. Absolutely. Probably like that. Yeah. Plague is more fun than Legion. Probably more fun than Deathslinger. Probably not as fun as Trickster, though. Is that fair? I think that's probably fair. I could move these down to here. In that case, I feel like I should move Wraith up. Because, like, the gameplay with Wraith isn't as frustrating as Knight and Sadako. Like, there is interactiveness to it. It's a little bit better, but he is quite low still. I feel like I'd rather play against a Legion. I think this is pretty fair so far. Then we have Trapper. Trapper or Twins? I feel like I'd rather play against Twins, to be honest. I feel like I'd rather play against Trapper than a Michael. I'd rather play against a Freddy than a Trapper, though. I feel like I'd rather play against Twins than a Freddy. But is that just basis off the fact that I don't see that many Twins? Am I basing that off the fact that I don't see that many Twins, or am I basing it off the fact that Twins is fun to play against? I think Twins is actually decently fun to play against. As little as people play them, I think they're actually decently fun to play against. I think it's just that not many people play Twins, to be honest. Freddy's kind of uninteresting, but it's a nice, like, generic match, if that makes sense. Like, there's a nice, like, variety of everything. He's got the teleports. He's got a little bit of anti-loop. You know what I mean? Like, he's generally, like, an M1 killer, normal, like, movement speed. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of sleep mechanic, a little bit of something else going on with the alarm clocks. Like, it's just a nice little mixture of everything, and he's not too strong. So it just generally ends up being a decent time. I feel like I'd rather play against a Freddy than a Trapper, yeah. But I feel like I'd rather play against the Twins than a Freddy, to be honest. Now we're starting to get into a weird spot because I feel like the rest of the killers are like things that I generally enjoy playing against. I do feel like Oni is not too high up there because, like I said, like good Onis rarely miss, I feel like, but it is quite fun to dodge them in their power. But it's only fun to dodge them in their power, and it's only fun to dodge them in their power when your entire team isn't slugged, which usually ends up happening, I feel like, because Onis usually tend to dominate if they're decent. Survivors can't seem to understand. I feel like playing in Singularity is only really as fun as I'd like it to be when it's me playing Singularity. I feel like when other people play Singularity, it's like a bit more like they just kind of chase you like normal, but then they kind of just place a biopod at like one point in the loop where you can't really dodge it, and then they just get the thing on you, and they just chase you, and they teleport to you, and they, either break the pallet, smash through the pallet. He's all right to play against. Like, I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't think his gameplay is like as fun as it could be. Doctor probably moves down at this point. I think I'd rather play against a Singu than a Doctor. But I'd rather play against an Oni than a Doctor. Oni just tends to dominate too much, I feel like. Like, whenever I see an Oni, I feel like I'm gonna lose. And that's not a very good feeling, you know what I mean? So, at least in my matches, like in my MMR, Oni tends to dominate if it's a decent Oni. If it's a decent Oni, they know how to use their power well, they tend to do really well, and it's just a kind of a sinking feeling knowing that that's probably what's going to happen. If it's not a very good Oni, then obviously not, but at my MMR, Onis tend to do well, so. I think that's fair. Freddy, Twins, Oni, Doctor. I feel like I'd rather play against a Doctor. Singu, I'd rather play against a Singu than a Doctor. This is fair. And we've got Unknown. Unknown down a tier? Or is he in B tier? Like, classified as a B tier. These ones are like a little bit jumbled for sure. These ones are a little bit jumbled. I don't really know where any of these go particularly yet. Alien probably is near the bottom, to be honest, because against a good alien, making him miss the tail whip is not super easy. I do like playing against alien because of the turret mechanic and the vents, but I don't actually think playing against his anti-loop is particularly fun. And if you use the turrets and get rid of his anti-loop, then you are obviously just playing against an M1, which isn't as interesting. And if an alien is tending to do well, you don't really have time to set up the turrets, so you kind of just get stomped. So while I kind of like it, I actually think I'd rather play against Singu. Yeah. I'd probably also rather play against a Doctor than an alien, but I don't think I'd rather play against an Oni. I think I'd rather play against an alien. I think it just tends to be a bit more of a fun match, less snowbally and less like light switch yes or no in terms of you lost, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair with Alien. I think he does fall down a bit when you really think about the looping gameplay that takes place against an alien. It's not really that fun. But overall, I think it's like a decent killer for fun because of the turrets and the tunnels and him popping out of the tunnels and stuff. And the tail can be fun to dodge at times when the alien like actually goes for some risky tails or you make some plays. But if they're just playing like the super safe like Pyramid Head, just hold it until you M1 style, then a little bit less fun. So I think that's fair. Speaking of, I think Blight and Pyramid Head go down. Pyramid Head maybe not so much. Blight just because it tends to be sweaty matches, and like I said, unless it's like a meh Blight or like just a decent Blight, they tend to just not miss a lot of the time. So it just ends up being not as much fun. I think Unknown is lower though, because this is kind of just because I haven't played Unknown myself. This is just my. I haven't played Unknown myself, and I don't really know how to dodge the ability that well because I haven't really played against him that much. I haven't played that much DBD since he came out, like when he was popular. So now I don't really see him all that often, so I don't know how to play against him super well. So when I play against him, I'm not really able to dodge the ability that much. Also, when I watch other people play it, it doesn't seem like you can dodge it like that much. It feels like you can maybe dodge it like once, maybe twice, but then when he closes the distance, like it's just like kind of a guaranteed hit. Um, so, but obviously dodging it once or twice does kind of do enough damage to the killer. Would I rather play against a Cenobite than a Blight? I think so, yeah. Would I rather play against a Blight than an Unknown? I think so. Would I rather play against an Unknown than a Singu? Yeah, I think so. Unknown might fall down a tier, though. I don't really enjoy playing as Unknown that much, but that might be just because I don't know them that well. I think Blight to me is on a different tier than Unknown. Maybe Unknown goes down beneath Singu, actually. Yeah, I'm going to say so. I think Singu's like, I just kind of prefer Singu's vibes, and I think playing as him is fun. And I also play Singu. I kind of prefer it because of that. I think Unknown is more interactive than Alien, though. And probably a bit more fun than Doctor, because Doctor has just been in the game for so long, and it's just kind of like more stale at this point. Unknown's at least fresh. I feel like looping Unknown's power is going to be more fun than Doctor once I figure it out as well. So I think that's fair. Blight. I think Blight is quite near the bottom. Out of these killers, who do I think is the least fun to play against? Least fun out of these killers. I see Blight on the enemy team, and I'm honestly scared. Like, legitimately, I'm scared on how the match is going to go. Yeah, I think Blight's got to be down there. I think Blight's probably my least favorite out of those. I think Artist is probably next, to be honest, because I feel like when I play against Artists, they don't tend to play in a very fun way. But there is some fun to be had. Like, just because I'm like saying that doesn't, like, she's obviously high up on the list for a reason, you know what I mean? I think it's fun to see an artist. It's fun to play against an artist. So put Nurse in the S category. I don't enjoy playing against Nurse that much. Would I rather play against an artist or a Blight? I think an artist for sure. Would I rather play? I think Pyramid Head probably falls. No, I like Pyramid Head though. I like playing as Pyramid Head. But when he tunnels, it's pretty unfun. I feel like he's got to fall just because of that tunneling capability. Because sometimes you do just get matches where they just tunnel immediately. Yeah. I feel like I'd rather see an artist than that. I'd probably rather see a Blight too, to be honest. At least I know a Blight, like I have fun dodging him, even if he does tunnel. Yeah, but Pyramid's fun to dodge too. I'd rather play against a Pyramid Head than a Stingu, I think. Would I rather play against a Blight or a Pyramid Head? Kind of tough. I feel like a Blight. I feel like a Blight. Because Blights are sweaty, but there's at least fun to be had at dodging him and stuff. I mean, Pyramid Head's fun to dodge, but the tunneling is just like pretty rough. And I feel like Blights don't tend to tunnel as much. They just tend to be sweaty, which is at least more fun. I also like Blight, and so I can appreciate when a Blight is doing really well. Artist, I think, is above Blight, though. Just because, I mean, I'm basing it off of pick rate, though. I think but Blight tends to be sweaty is kind of the problem. Yeah, Blight tends to be sweaty. So, Artist. I think Artist is above Blight. Who's next, though? It's getting tough. It's getting tough. They're all pretty close at this point, I feel like. Let's think about the categories. I'm not so sure about S and A yet. I'm not so sure about those. But, or S, I mean. I'm not so sure about the 2 and S. But A, I do feel like I like Pig. I like Ghostface. Actually, maybe Ghostface falls a little bit. Would I rather play against a Ghostface? Would I rather play against an artist? Honestly, spotting Ghostface out of his ability is such a fucking pain in the ass that I actually maybe drop Ghostface quite a lot, to be honest. I'd probably rather see a Singu than a Ghostface. I feel like he might drop a lot, actually. I know that's like very all of a sudden, but spotting him out of his ability is such a pain in the ass, and they don't tend to play in a very fun way, Ghostfaces, I feel like. Like, because he's such a weak killer, people tend to play him in a very unfun way because they have to compensate somewhere, which I don't blame them for, but he is still quite a weak killer, so it does end up being more fun matches. I feel like I'd rather see a Singu than a Ghostface, though. Yeah, Ghostface is gonna drop quite a large margin. Wesker's very fun. Dredge is fun. Demogorgon's fun. Pig is fun. Spirit, not so fun, to be honest. I'd probably rather see an artist than a spirit. I'd rather see a spirit than a blight, though, I think. Spirits tend to be a little bit less sweaty than a blight. Oh, but they're always using fucking cherry blossom, which isn't fun. Interesting. But blights tend to be fucking sweaty, like, which doesn't end up being the most fun match. I wouldn't mind like a super sweaty match. Like all 4 of my teammates are sweaty and the killer's sweaty. When I get matches like that, it's fun. But when it's like 2 of your teammates are fucking casual and then you got a sweaty ass killer and he just fucking dominates, it's like, ugh. You know what I mean? I don't mind a sweaty match occasionally, but it's just like when it's mismatched and, you know what I mean, the killer is sweaty but your teammates aren't, it's like not very fun. I think that's fair. I think I'd put Spirit there. Cenobite, I'd rather play against a Cenobite than an artist. I like Cenobite. I like dodging the chains. I think it's really fun. I think it's really interactive. I haven't played against Dracula that much, which kind of makes it hard to rank him because he's obviously the newest killer. I haven't played against him very much at all, to be honest. If I think about how fun it looks to play against him, I've played against him occasionally. I think I'd rather play against Cenobite, though. But I'd probably rather play against him than artist. I think that's fair. Vecna, I really enjoy Vecna because of the chests and stuff. I think Vecna is very solid at top of B, to be honest. I think Vecna is very fun to play against. Like the hand is fun to like kind of think about, and the skeletons and the fly and the chests are fun to open. Like I feel like Vecna, playing against Vecna and like you get the special unique items. I feel like playing against Vecna, you always have a bit of fun. You know what I mean? Like even if the match is bad, you still have a bit of fun. Like maybe you get trapped by a mimic and it's funny. You know what I mean? Maybe you find like the legendary item and you get to use it for a funny chase. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, you dodge some skeletons and feel like a badass. Like I feel like there's always some fun to be had with Vecna. But it does tend to not be like the greatest matches overall. But I feel like fun is to be had. Then we move up to A tier. I think these are all really solid. I think these are all locked in. Unless somebody goes from like up here to way down there, I think these are pretty locked in. Maybe I'd rather play against an unknown than a Ghostface. Ghostface is the one that I'm like a little bit questionable or like question mark about. Ghostface? Would I rather play against an unknown or a Ghostface? Probably a Ghostface. Maybe not. Ghostface nowadays is just always like 99 you and stuff. It's like less fun. Yeah, I'd have more fun with Doctor. Do I have more fun with Alien? Fuck, I think I do. Do I have more fun against Oni? Ooh. It's getting closer now. Thinking. I think I do. Ooh, but Oni's kind of rough. Fuck, I might put Twins above Oni, to be honest. Yeah, I think I put Twins above Oni. Funny how the closer you get to locking it in, the more difficult it gets to determine who goes where. No, yeah, because they start getting a lot closer. I think Ghostface is moving like far down, to be honest. Thinking about how Ghostface matches actually go nowadays, like they used to be more fun in the past, but I feel like nowadays Ghostface matches just don't tend to be fun. Yeah. I feel like I'd rather play against a Trapper or a Michael or a Trickster or a Plague. He's probably more fun than Legion, though, right? Yeah, I think he is more fun than Legion. And he moved way far down. Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking about how, like, he was up here before. An A tier. I kind of placed that a little bit haphazardly, though. But that's how we were doing it to start with. Yeah, I don't know. Ghostface isn't as fun to play against now. I feel like the people who play him, like, know that he's, like, you can, like, sometimes you're really hard to, like, knock out of stealth, and so you can do some cheesy shit. And the knocking him out of stealth mechanic is, like, really, really frustrating sometimes. He's more fun to play against than Legion, I think, though. Legion's, like, kind of boring to play against. There's not really much gameplay going on. Fuck, does Legion go down? Or does Wraith just go up? Wraith probably just goes up, to be honest. I don't think Legion is, like, as bad to play against as these people. But I don't think Legion is particularly interesting to play against. Like, Wraith probably moves up a little bit. I'm not hating on Wraith as much as I... We'll get back to A in a second. Ghostface or Legion? Ghostface or Legion? Ghostface or Legion? Fuck. Honestly, I might put Ghostface at top of E, to be honest. That feels like a pretty solid list, to be honest. Maybe that. Ghostface is not as fun as he used to be, I feel like, actually, yeah. Is Wraith actually that high up? I think the mind games with Wraith when he goes stealth to break the pallet are actually quite fun. And now that I've gotten better at that, I have a lot more fun with that gameplay than I used to. So, like, that actually ends up being kind of fun. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Deathslinger over Legion? Yeah. Plague over Wraith? I think so. I think Plague with the puke is kind of fun to dodge. Ooh, maybe not, though. Maybe not. Wraith maybe moves up one more spot. He's probably not more fun than Trickster, though. Dodging the knives is, like, at least somewhat entertaining. Does he move up over Plague? Plague, the whole teammates thing just makes her kind of frustrating to play against because you just get mad at your teammates. It's like, why are you cleansing? Why are you not cleansing? That good stuff. So, I think Wraith probably moves up and then stays there. I think that's fair. I think him, like, solidly in the middle because sometimes you can have some really fucking painful matches with Wraith and sometimes you can have some fun matches. It really depends. So I think he kind of sits, like, evenly in that middle part, I think is fair. Because sometimes you can have some rough matches too, but, like, he's not a super easy to killer to defeat. Going back to A. I'm not sure how I feel about that Wraith placement, though. No, I think it's fair. I think I'm more excited to see the other killers than Wraith. Is that just based off of pick rate, though? Is that just because a lot of people play Wraith? You know what I mean? Like, Wraith is, like, one of the most played killers, I feel like. Is that just because a lot of people play Wraith? No, I don't think it is. I think Wraith just tends to have a boring match, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. I think Wraith's fine where he is. At least with Trickster, I know that I'm gonna get to dodge some knives, and it's kind of fun. So, Nurse, bottom of A. I think that's fair. I think Nurse at the bottom of A is fair. I think that it's fun to dodge her blinks, but you can have some really unfun matches against nurses. Some of them tend to be toxic assholes too, and they just like slug everybody out on the ground and they BM and shit. So I do really like dodging nurse blinks. It's one of the most unique things in the game. But I do think that, like, I'm excited to play against a nurse, but I'm worried to find out what kind of nurse it is. That's the thing. Like, is it somebody who's going to be really sweaty and, you know, they're going to slug us all and BM and shit? Or is it going to be somebody that's just, like, going for chases and is a decent nurse and we can have some fun chases? You know what I mean? And, like, I can mind game them, they can mind game me, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. So I think nurse probably bottom of A is fair. Would I rather play against a dredge or a nurse, though? Well, would I rather play against a nurse or a Vecna? I feel like a nurse. It just depends on what kind of nurse it is. But Vecna tends to be, like, kind of more one-dimensional. And, like, the hand can be kind of frustrated to play against and stuff. Nurse has been normalized a lot now because of the add-ons. They changed a lot of the add-ons. They removed some of the add-ons. So, I think that her gameplay against her is a lot more solid. The problem is that sometimes people give up as your teammates as nurse. But putting her A is kind of rough. Maybe B is more solid, to be honest. Where would I put her, though? Yeah, putting her in A feels like a little bit too much, maybe. I feel like your teammates tend to give up, and you do tend to get those sweaty, kind of toxic nurses a little bit more than, you know, decent nurses. So, I don't know. I'm still more excited though because it's such unique gameplay. And when you hit those, like when you fake out a nurse, you feel like fucking, you feel like you're on cloud 9. You know what I mean? Like it feels so fucking satisfying to fake out nurses, dude. Like it's one of the most satisfying things in the game. Fuck. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to know where to put nurse. I feel like she's on a level of her own. Like, even if you can have bad matches with her, she's on a high enough level because it's so unique. Like, it's a completely different game. You start playing a completely different game to every other killer. There's nothing that's like it. And I think on that basis alone, I'm excited to play against her because I want to play that gameplay occasionally, and it's the only way you can. So, I think on that alone, she's A tier for me. Just like, yes, you can have some bad matches, but the gameplay is so unique and it can feel really satisfying and really interactive. So, yeah. Dredge. I feel like Pig is probably lower down here because there's no interactive like gameplay. There's no like loop gameplay. The traps, sometimes your teammates can be stupid. I do think that she suffers a little bit from Ghostface syndrome, where she's such a weak killer that people tend to play a bit asshole-ish. Well, I shouldn't say asshole-ish, just a little bit more unfun. They play in unfun ways. Not asshole-ish. I don't blame anybody for play styles. Like, as long as you're not being toxic or BMing, I think it's perfectly fine to play any way you want. Whether that be tunneling, camping, etc. But it is less fun. Like, that's just, you know, a statement. So if I'm just basing it off of fun, I don't blame them for doing it. But if we're basing this purely off of fun, which we're trying to, then I think that it lowers their amount of fun because it's just not fun to play against. But I do like Pig overall. I think it's fun to play against Pig. I like her vibes. I think I'd rather play against a Pig than Nurse for sure. I think I'd rather play against a Demogorgon than a Pig. I like the looping gameplay. I think I'd rather play against... See, the problem is that you see Wesker so much, and I'm trying to detach it from pick rate here. I'm trying to detach my feelings towards them based on how often they're picked, because that's going to be a very big factor in terms of how much fun you have playing against them, because obviously if you play against something over and over again, you're going to get bored of it. But I'm trying to detach it from the pick rate. Wesker is really fun when you don't play against him that often. That's the thing. It's just that he's so often. Like, if you take away the fact that he's played a lot, he's a pretty fun killer to play against. Like, he really is. He's a very fun killer to play against. He might be top of A, honestly. But it's just that he's picked so fucking often. But if you take that away, I think it's not too bad. I think I'd rather play against a Dredge than a Pig because it's quite interactive with the looping. But Dredge tends to be a bit stronger, so I think Demogorgon kind of goes up there because he's a bit weaker. I think the portals are like kind of fun to close, and it's fun to see him come out of the portals and run away from them. It's fun to like bait his looping and stuff, like his charge attack. So I think his charge attack is actually really well designed, to be honest. I think I'd rather play against a Wesker than a Demo, though. I think the Wesker's lunges are quite fun to dodge. They're quite interactive. And he tends to just have a lot of like pressure going on, and it keeps the match interesting, but it's not like too much pressure like a Blight. So I think that's pretty solid. And then I think Huntress and Hillbilly are on a separate tier for me. Like, Hillbilly tends to be some of my favorite memories from DBD is dodging the saw. Like, when you dodge Hillbilly saws, it is like one of the most like satisfying epic things. Like, you see him fly past you, he hits a wall, he's stunned for a second, and you get that adrenaline, man. I think I'd rather play against Huntress, to be honest. Like, I feel like Huntress is a lot more fun to play against than a Hillbilly. I feel like whenever I see a Huntress, I'm excited because I want to see what kind of Huntress it is. I want to try and dodge some hatchets. I'm excited to dodge hatchets. You know what I mean? I think Wesker, I tend to just have less fun, I feel like, than like a Hillbilly or a Huntress. I don't think he's on A tier. Hillbillies nowadays tend to be a bit sweatier though, but I'm also like, even when they're sweaty, they still miss. That's the thing about Hillbillies. Like, even when they're sweaty, they still miss sometimes. And that makes it fun. You know what I mean? Because you never feel like it's completely in their control. You feel like you have some essence to it. So it makes it really still nerve-wracking. Because if it's like an Oni, I feel like you just feel like you're going to get stomped every time. You know what I mean? Can't go wrong with a Billy match. No, yeah, you can't. Like, even if it's like a sweaty Billy, I'm still impressed. You know what I mean? I'm still like, God damn, you crazy son of a bitch. Like, fair play. You know what I mean? Like, it at least makes me happy to see him do wacky shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if it's a sweaty Billy, at least I have fun watching him do crazy shit. If it's not a sweaty Billy, I have fun dodging him. You know what I mean? You see him chainsawing around the map. You never know where he's going to come from. You always have to be worried about him chainsawing. I think it's fun. I prefer Huntress, though, because I've played a lot of Huntress, and I prefer the dodging of hatchets. I find like the ranged attacks are really fun. But that's just my preference, which obviously is what the list is based off of. So I prefer Huntress, I think. I also just have like a I don't know what the word is, but I just like more of a connection with Huntress just because I've played her so much. She's like my most played character. And I also just like the vibes and the humming and stuff. It's just like, I just have like an affinity towards it. So I just prefer Huntress, I feel like. I'm always happy to see a Huntress match. But she can be sometimes a little bit unfun, playing in unfun ways. But I mean, that's every killer at the end of the day, right? Maybe Billy's more fun because of that, though. But I just generally like Huntress more, to be honest. I think I'd rather take the chance on a Huntress match. Like, if you told me, would you rather play against a Billy or would you rather play against a Huntress? I want to pick the Billy, but I think I'd always pick the Huntress because I just like Huntress. And so I think they're pretty close. But I think I'm going to put Huntress as number one because it just doesn't quite feel right not putting her number one. To be fair, now that she has so many hatchets now, though. Oh, shit. Maybe those buffs actually put her down. Just so many hatchets, so it's harder to make her run out. Shit, actually, yeah. I feel like maybe I'd rather play against Billy because of that. It's like, making her run out of hatchets was like one of the most satisfying things as a survivor. Because a good Huntress usually has control of the situation, except for certain loops. But if you make her run out of hatchets, it's such a big downside that even if she's a good Huntress, if you make her run out of hatchets, that's such a huge loss of time that you always have that threat, and she always has that worry. But With 7 hatchets, that just worry's not really there as much anymore. So I think Billy wins out because of that. Like I said, like a Billy match, like you said, can't go wrong. Like if it's a fucking sweaty Billy, at least I'm gonna be laughing about the crazy shit that he's able to do. You know what I mean? At least I'm gonna be like, holy shit, you fucking psycho, fair play. And if he's not that good, at least I get to dodge some chainsaws. You know what I mean? Like, and it'll be a fun time. So, or at least attempt to try and dodge. I'm surprised at the Dracula placement. Why? I think Dracula is decently fun to play against. I haven't played against him that much, but I think he's decently fun to play against. The only thing I don't like about Dracula is that stupid bat form switch into an instant attack. But I'm thinking that's already fixed, and if it's not, it's going to be fixed at some point. If they're keeping that, then he drops way down, in my opinion. Like, that's just not fun to play against. But I assume that they've either already fixed that or they're going to fix it, so I'm kind of basing it off of that. But if it's based off of like, because I'm pretty sure it's a bug, not like a feature. So I think that's it though. I think that's the full list of the killers that I enjoy playing against. In which order? So it seems like Bubba is my least favorite and Billy is my most favorite. So shit, when I hear a chainsaw, it's like fucking flip a coin, dude. When I hear the chainsaw, it's like, ah, shit, flip the coin. What are we gonna get? I did base this list off of not pick rates though. So just keep that in mind. This is not based off of pick rates at all because, like I said, like if every killer was played equally, which would I be the most excited to play against? Which I think would be Billy, and least excited Bubba. You know what I mean? Like there's some that would move around based on pick rates. Like Twins would probably move way up because you just don't see him that much. Wesker would probably move way down because you just see him all the fucking time. Blight would probably move down a bit for sure. Wraith would probably move down a bit because you just see him a lot. You get my thing. Bots everywhere. Disgusting. Beyond bot. But yeah, I think that's the full list. Oh, you removed their ban. They're unbanned. They're unbanned. They're free. Free to cause mischief. What the fuck? There you go. I banned him again. Rebanned. I think that's a full list. I think it's a full list. Where's your list, Fluffkins? Did you finish your list? It's interesting. It's interesting to do a tier list because you put your thoughts into words. You know what I mean? Like you put your thoughts into words and you try to explain why each person is where they are, and you kind of challenge your own thoughts. And it's really interesting because you kind of, because you're challenging your own thoughts, because you're putting it on paper, you end up coming up with more concrete opinions, and you figure out more like your like reasoning for things and your solid opinions on things. So it's really fun to do these kind of tier lists and stuff. Peak fun. Pyramid Head, Billy, Wesker, Dracula. A lot of fun. Piggy, Unknown, Vecna, Alien, Demogorgon. Usually fun. Nemesis. You like Nemesis? What is wrong with you? Where is the fun? Where is the fun when playing against Nemesis? Tell me. I can't find it. On check. Where is the fun? Fun cannot be found. It's fun to dodge his whip. His zombies add chaos. Limited syringes. Zombies I agree with. Limited syringes I never feel like comes into play. Dodge his whip? Where? Where? Where do you dodge that whip? Okay, fair enough. Deathslinger? Fair. Artist? I mean, obviously, we can disagree. I'm just, comparing my opinions to yours. Just bouncing off. Seeing where we disagree. Artists fair. Huntress, Singu, Oni, Dredge. I mean, we're pretty much on the same page for a lot of these. Kind of fun. Spirit, Michael, Legion, Blight, Sadako. Sometimes fun. Ghostface, Freddy, Nurse, Knight, Trickster, Trapper, Hag. It's fair. Rarely fun. Twins, Clown, Plague, Wraith, Skull Merchant. I feel like we have pretty similar lists overall. Like, there's only a couple that are like really different. Like, what are some that are really different? I mean, you moved Huntress down quite a lot. You moved Nurse down a lot. To be fair, you moved Nurse down like 3 rows. You moved Nemesis up like 4 rows from me. Deathslinger up like 2 rows as well. Our pinheads. Oh, that's true. Yeah, my pinhead's in B. Your pinhead is in fucking D tier or F tier. Post yours in stream chat too. Yeah, I will. One sec. Yeah, I mean these lists are actually pretty similar. Twins. You don't like twins. I put twins in C. You put twins in E. Interesting. And you obviously don't like Doctor. I put Doctor in C. Put Doctor in F. But I think you just don't like him overall. I think I'm actually going to put Nemesis over Chucky. I think I'd rather play against a Nemesis over a Chucky. Shit, I maybe rather play against a Nemesis than a Clown. I think the problem is that I played against a shit ton of Nemesises. Fuck, you can get some very satisfying, I don't know. Nemesi. I do kind of like twins, but truly they usually play like their lives depend on it. They do! It's so strange. Twins players usually play like they're in a fucking tournament. It's weird. Like, they play that shit like they're losing money if they lose. It's crazy. Weird. Very weird. I think it's just because not that many people play them. Shit, now you're making me want to drop twins, to be honest. Fuck. I don't know. I feel like I have to finalize the list at some point. I feel like I would rather probably play against Nemesis over Clown. Maybe Skull Merchant drops too, to be honest. Maybe Skull Merchant drops too. Does Skull Merchant drop? Ask me about one placement in mind you find controversial. Well, I think I mentioned most of them. I mean, I kind of understand your reasoning for it. It's not really controversial. It's just I disagree. That's all. Pyramid Head being up higher. I feel like the tunneling makes him kind of annoying to face. Like when they actually go for tunneling and shit. Alien's quite high, but I don't blame you for it. He's got cool vibes. I mean, yeah, we honestly mostly agreed on all of it. Like, there's a couple that you moved like pretty like up and down compared to me, but we talked about most of them. Fuck, I don't know. I'm uncertain now. Maybe Twins goes down just because they do kind of play like their lives depend on it sometimes. Shit, do they go down to here? Might go down there. And honestly, he might go up to here and she might go down there. The reason I'm thinking for this is because fuck, Wraith. Generally it's fun to try and run them and punt Vic. They play so sweaty usually. Casual matches against them are super fun though. No, yeah, I agree. They do play really sweaty. That's why I'm kind of moving them down. Because you're not wrong. They usually genuinely play like their lives depend on it. It's weird. So often that it really overshadows the casuals. No, yeah, I agree. I think I'd rather play against them than Wraith. I find Wraith boring. I find them interesting at least. Even if it's a sweaty match, I at least find it interesting to try and play against them. I like have a bit of fun at the start of the match before we get rolled. And there is those matches where you do get to have fun. He also influenced my ghosty placement. Yeah, I know. I put him so high. Had him higher initially. Yeah, but he's just not that fun to play against these days. Like, reality, like, you feel like you're going to have fun, but then the match just does not end up being fun. Like, it just doesn't end up being that much fun. It's a bit weird. Like, I feel, like, excited to see a ghost face, but then I am, like, annoyed. I just don't end the match having fun, usually. I think Skull Merchant goes down purely on the reason that people just give up, to be honest. Like, I think purely on the reason that people just give up. I think that's, like, legitimately why she goes down. If you think about how awful it is to break him out of stealth, your teammates just not using their brains, it just doesn't pan out. Yeah. Ghost face matches just tend to not be as much fun as they, like, you'd hope. Nemesis does have the zombies. It can be funny. Dodging the tentacle can happen sometimes. Fuck, maybe Nemesis goes up a little bit. I fucking hate Nemesis though, dude. You don't understand. I played against him so many times in the past. But if we're not thinking about pick rate, shit, he is kind of fun. Fuck. If we're not thinking about pick rate, if we're not thinking about pick rate, fuck, if we're not thinking about pick rate, he's a lot higher up, to be honest. He's like up here. The zombies are fun. Dodging the tentacle does feel pretty satisfying, but it really doesn't give you that much when you do dodge it. I don't know. Playstyle and looping usually breaks it up in a really fun way for me. I disagree. I don't know. Yeah. Is that good for Nemesis? I really fucking hate Nemesis, though. But is that just because of the pick rate? See, the problem is that if you play DBD during certain points in history, you're going to play against certain killers a lot. Like, if you played in the 6 months after Wesker came out, all you fucking played against was Wesker. You know what I mean? If you played at, like, the 6 months after Nemesis came out, all you fucking, like, get is Wesker, or Nemesis. So it's like, that really influences how much you like these killers based on when you played. Because certain killers just showed up so much, you got so fucking sick of them. Same with Cenobite. So many Cenobites that I just got so fucking sick of seeing them. Is there any other killers that really feel that way to me? Literally the most fun I ever had in DVD. I know, you really had a good time with that one, I remember. You remember you talking about. What's some other killers that people played like an absolute shit ton of when they came out? I mean, Ghostface got pretty popular. I feel like I've played against a lot of Knights. I remember the Twin release, dude. Like, you were lucky if you saw Twins when Twins released. Like, it was crazy. I think Nemesis does move up, but I think I'd rather play against a Singu. I think that's more fair. All right, this is my final list. No more changes. Final list, final verdict, locking it in. This be the list. This be the list. Job done. Flip it and ship it. Send it to your mom. I don't know. Ask her if she likes any of the characters. Fucking know. Send it to your grandpa. He's probably seen some horror movies. There you go. There's my list. Pretty similar. I'm kind of surprised your Deathslinger was so low. Deathslinger is fun to dodge when he actually goes for shots that he can miss. But good Deathslingers do not go for shots that they can miss. Like, they don't go for shots that they miss. So they just always hit their shots. And so it just doesn't end up being that much fun. And it's like, the whole chain mechanic is like fun in theory, but it usually never comes into play. It's either a situation where he can't hit you, or he does hit you. That's it. Like, so it doesn't really end up being as interactive as it seems like it could be on the tin, if that makes sense. The only time it's really fun to go up against a Deathslinger is when it's a Deathslinger that you can actually dodge. But shit, I guess I am rating him on pick rate, to be honest. Because if I got to play against that gameplay more, it would probably be higher. Shit, that's true, actually. I don't know. I don't like basing it off of pick rate, but it's obviously hard to get rid of that bias, like 100%. So that is going to be part of it. Fuck, I'd rather probably put Deathslinger over a Plague then. Maybe not over a Twins though, to be honest. They tend to be sweaty though. I don't know, getting shot by Deathslinger through a window is like so unfun, to be honest. I find it difficult to have fun against a Plague, to be honest. I just enjoy dodging the red puke, to be honest. I don't blame you though, but I find it gets more fun than Legion. But Plague usually ends up winning, to be fair. It's true. Okay, wait, we're gonna do some edits. We're gonna do some edits. I know I said I was locking it in, but we're unlocking it in. Deathslinger, boom. Plague, boom. Done. I think because Legion is weaker, Plague usually does end up being a stomp because you have to trust your teammates. And trusting your teammates is kind of a pain in the ass because a lot of the time they're not trustworthy. And Plague usually just ends up having easier matches. Legion usually end up winning a lot more, which tends to be more fun, obviously. And the Legion, there's some gameplay on like, oh, when should I heal? My healing items aren't completely disabled, they're just not really worth it. Whereas Plague, it's like, oh, all of my healing stuff is completely disabled. That's not very fun. You know what I mean? Dodging the red puke is fun, but at most it wastes some time, and if your team isn't good, then wasting time is useless. So, kind of a pain in the ass. Deathslinger, I put him above Trickster because it is more fun to dodge his shots, but like I said, Deathslingers usually tend to only go for shots they can hit. But if I did play against more Deathslingers, then obviously more of them would be Deathslingers that do shoot and miss. But I don't think Deathslinger's that much fun because if he shoots you over a window, kind of a pain in the ass. I actually think I'd put Michael over Trapper, to be honest. I think I'd rather play against a Michael over a Trapper. Trapper just tends to do basement stuff or put traps in places where you can't really stop it. And if your teammates aren't disabling traps too, then you just kind of are like at loops and you have to shift W. You can't use the loop. So, would I rather play against a Trapper or a Deathslinger? Probably a Deathslinger. More interactive. I would definitely rather play against a Trapper over a Trickster. I still think I'd play against a Michael over Deathslinger, though. Why Alien and C tier? I think looping him, if it's a good Alien, I think looping him is just not really very fun. Like, because it's the Pyramid Head gameplay of wait for a guaranteed hit, but there's no punishment for waiting because there's no charge up. So you have to use your turrets, and the turret gameplay is fun, and him coming out of the hole is fun, and dodging the tail is fun sometimes, but most aliens know that you can just wait. You know what I mean? You just wait until you have a guaranteed hit with the left click or with the tail on like an animation, And you don't really have time to do the turrets to break him out of his ability if your team is getting stomped, which I feel like happens more often than not when you play against Alien. Like, I feel like you don't really have time to place the turrets, and so you kind of are just stuck looping against his ability, which he never really uses. He just kind of has as a lingering threat, and so you just get fucking, like, owned a lot of the time. That's kind of my experience. But that's my experience. But I'm done. I'm done now. That's the final list. Final list. I can't do any more editing. My throat's really dry. I need to get some sleep. I've been up for quite a while, and that was me. Sorry. And I got shit to do. So that's the final list. Thank you for watching me talk about DVD killers for a very long time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you had a good time watching. We talked about some DVD killers. Talked about who I enjoy the most going up against. Now you know. Now you know. Not sure how useful this information is, but you know, you have it now. Maybe you can do something fun with it. No. It's just fun to do these tier lists. It's fun to talk about, like, do tier lists and rank things, and like I said, just kind of put your thoughts onto paper and kind of see like what your thoughts really are. Because when you talk about stuff, or like when you are like creating a list like that, like ranking things against each other, you start to realize the things that you like more, the things that you like less, and you start to like see the nuance of your opinion and why your opinions are what they are. You know what I mean? Like, I realized more that my hate for Nemesis isn't really because of his gameplay as much, but more so just because I've played against a shit ton of Nemesises. You know what I mean? And also my hatred towards Wraith is, now that I know more about the kicking, like, mind games and stuff in the meta of like the stealth kick Wraith, that there is some mind game and some gameplay there to kind of influence it and go back and forth. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, am I really going to drop the pallet? Oh, I didn't drop the pallet. Oh, you have to uncloak now. Oh, are you going to uncloak or are you not going to uncloak? And then you can do the slides over the pallet over and over again and stuff, just to kind of waste their time, to kind of combat that like speed up that they have just by breaking through lots of pallets quickly. So like I said, like, you just kind of figure out more about your opinions, and you kind of find more nuance to it, and you figure out why you think the way you think, which is kind of interesting, and I find that fun. So it's a fun activity. I like tier lists. Tier lists are pretty fun. But yeah, I'm really tired. I'm sorry, so I should probably get some sleep. But that was fun. I had a good time. Thank you for the tier list. Thank you for finding it for me, Fluffkins. And it was a good time. A good time. I had a great time. You guys had a great time too. But yeah, I do really like tier lists. I'm just pretty tired. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tier list. Got some clips. Is there any chance I can watch those clips tomorrow? I'm pretty exhausted. I don't really have the energy. I have to go to the bathroom. My throat really hurts. And I'm tired. It's your stream, you know. Well, yeah, but your guys' stream too. Like, I don't want to deny you guys. I'd like you guys to enjoy the stream. I mean, how was me watching the clips at the start of the stream the other day? How was that? Was that good? Was that fun? It was fun last time. Okay, yeah. We'll do that. We'll watch them at the start of tomorrow's stream. If I forget, somebody remind me. I will absolutely try and remember, but if I do forget, somebody hit me with a reminder and we'll definitely watch them. But I'm tired. I think it's not going to be as fun watching them right now. I don't want to set them all up and watch them and just kind of be low energy. So I'd rather watch them tomorrow when I'm kind of a little bit more rejuvenated. I think that'll end up being more fun for everybody involved. So if you do want to check out those clips yourself, though, the links are in chat. Those are the cream of the crop, the creme brulee that Fluffkins has found from today's stream. The decent length stream, it was like 6 hours. I don't know. I had more fun today because the stutters were definitely a bit less, but I still noticed them. It does seem like some of the stuff I did help, but I definitely didn't go away completely. And I'm thinking I have no options left. Out of everything, I mean, like, I couldn't really even see anything on the chart that really referenced what was happening as much anymore. Like, it wasn't as obvious. So, like on the MSI Afterburner, I'm kind of at a point where I'm thinking maybe I just hit the fucking overclock and we just see if that helps. I mean, at worst, I turn it off. You know what I mean? We try next stream with it on, see how it goes, and go from there. You know what I mean? Like, if it helps, then fuck yeah. If it doesn't, then fuck. You know what I mean? So, I think maybe we just do that. I mean, I'll look into the overclocking a little bit before I do it. There's like my motherboard has like an inbuilt overclocking thing. So like, and it only works if you have a supported CPU. So supposedly supported. So I'm gonna check it out and see kind of look into it a little bit before I do it. But thinking maybe we try that because if it is like CPU bottlenecking and stuff, then upping the CPU a little bit would definitely help. So if that gets rid of the stutters, then fucking God bless, right? The problem is that stuff can kind of degrade your CPU and stuff and make it unstable. But it's already unstable right now. And it's already probably on the way out. So fuck it. If I can get, an extra 6 months out of it, then I mean I only really thought I was gonna be able to stream for another 6 months anyways, so might as well fucking burn the bush at both ends or whatever the fuck the saying is. And at least get some good streams out of it. I think that's kind of my plan at this point. I really can't think of what else I can do. Like I've done everything, man. I've done fucking everything. I have like fucking like cleaned up all my hard drives. I did a virus scan. I installed all the drivers. I did a clean install of pretty much all my drivers. I updated my BIOS. I like made space on my hard drives. Cleaned I checked their health. Checked the health of my memory. I checked the Windows file health. I have tried to like figure out what might be causing it. Changed my OBS settings. I reinstalled OBS. I put it on my SSD. I made sure that my paging file was set up correctly. I mean, like I made sure game mode was turned on. I made sure my computer is on like high power, like performance mode. I cleared my shader cache. I fuck me, dude. I've installed fucking 2 different fucking monitoring softwares to try and see if it was that. I checked to see if it was my temperatures. It's not my temperatures. I mean, in the past, if we want to go back, we can fucking go back and look at this stuff I did then. I mean, like, I repasted my fucking CPU. I cleaned out my PC. I don't know, man. I've changed my fan so that way it's supposed to keep the case cooler. I mean, there's more stuff I did too. Like, not even all of it. I disabled the fucking game writer bar, the directory, so because that supposedly pings it sometimes. I disabled the NVIDIA HD driver because sometimes that lowers performance. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I've been trying everything I fucking can. Everything I can fucking find, I've been trying. Nothing's fucking working. And I don't understand why. I tried upping my settings in OBS. I tried lowering my settings in OBS. I tried putting up my OBS like high priority. That didn't fucking work. I tried lowering my settings in the games I was playing. That didn't work. Fuck, man. Tried updating my Windows. That didn't work. I tried switching to Firefox. That didn't work. I don't know. Who knows what it could fucking be at this point, you know? At this point, who fucking knows? Alright. That's probably gotta be it for today. Sorry for the sad, somber rant at the end, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know where to go from here. I think the only idea I got is just try the overclocking thing and see how it goes tomorrow. I think that's gonna be the plan. So, do a little bit of research into it. Hit the big red button. Give it a try before I start the stream to see how it goes. Maybe play a game or two just to see if it's stable. And then we'll try the stream and see how that goes if everything goes smoothly. And we'll see how that goes. I'll monitor my stuff. I mean, like, I don't even know what to monitor is the problem, but I'll do some research maybe. I don't know, we're just gonna give it a try. See how it goes. So yeah. Yep. It was fun today though. It was I had some fun. It was a good time. I'm just a little bit sad about all the. It's frustrating, man. I also feel kind of like shit. Arm hurts. Head hurts. Forehead hurts. Throat hurts. So, and my toes kind of hurt because I'm cold. I'm gonna get some sleep, and I'll be back on tomorrow. Overclocked and ready to go. Fucking ready to enjoy some more stutters. I will say that because this is where my head is at this point. If I can't figure it out, I'm probably just gonna stop streaming. I already planned to stop sometime soon, and I mean, I can't really do anything to fix it, so it's just kind of ruining the experience for me, and I know it's ruining the experience for other people, and I don't really want to play anything ruining the experience. Like I said, I do plan to still stream and play all the games that I said I would play eventually, but life's gonna get in the way of that. I'm not gonna be able to stream every day or anything. But if I can't figure out the PC stuff, it's probably just gonna be sooner rather than later that I kind of stop streaming daily, because even if I do get a new PC, it's like, I mean, that's not gonna be for like a month. Then I have to build it, which, you know, won't take too long, but it'll take a little bit of time with the other stuff I gotta do, and I gotta make sure I do it all correctly. So it'll just be like a month and a half of like no streams. And so it's like at that point, like, what, I got like 3 months to stream left. It's like, fuck. I mean, that's not a bad idea. So I guess maybe that's the plan. I can still stream for like 3 months. I don't know if I even have 3 months though. I don't know. I gotta figure life out. Fuck, man. Yeah. I don't know. Just telling you guys where my head's at. Explaining who I am. Like to keep it open. keep it honest. But I'm not trying to have a pity party or anything. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm planning to do. I'm fucking lost. Yeah, alright. That's gonna be it though. Sorry for being somber. Thank you guys very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Very glad you enjoyed your stay, Fluffkins. Thank you very much for hanging out. As always, thank you for the clips. And thank you for hanging out, chatting, and all that good stuff. If you did enjoy the stream and you are new, that follow button down below, little heart here on Twitch. I do really appreciate it. Come back next time. I do stream pretty much every single day. Play a wide variety of games. Play pretty much anything and everything. So chances are, if you enjoy the stream, you'll enjoy something that I end up playing in the future. So you can come back next time. You'll get a notification whenever I go live. Hit that follow button, and I'll show up on your follow list over on the left side of Twitch, so you can always know when I'm streaming and hop back in if you see something that you're interested in. Even though I do stream every day, though, I don't start the stream at any specific time. So if you really want to know when the stream starts, your best bet is to follow me here on Twitch with the heart down below, or you can follow me on Twitter, link in chat, or you can join my community Discord with the second link in chat. All three of those things are completely free. All they do is just give you a notification whenever I go live, so you can always know when the stream starts and be able to hop in if you feel like it. The notifications will include how long until I start the stream, what time I plan to start at, how long I plan to stream for, what game I plan to play, and when the stream actually goes live. So you can always get all the information you need and be able to tune in if you feel so inclined. Other than that, I do have a YouTube channel where I post all of my highlights and clip compilations and videos, edited stuff, all up on there on that YouTube channel. Usually upload on there about twice a week. It's just general gaming content. Pretty much similar stuff that you see on the stream. So chances are, if you enjoy the stream, you'll enjoy the stuff I post up on there. It's just any kind of gaming. Play pretty much anything and everything. So you can check that out with the link in chat if you feel like it. Other than that, I do have a VODs channel. That is the last thing. With that link in chat, you can check that out. It has all my streams as full-length videos on that VODs channel there. Post all my streams as full-length videos about a day or two after the stream is over, so you can check that out and watch them if you feel so inclined. If you want to see me play a specific game in the past, or you missed a stream, you can always watch it back on there if you prefer YouTube over here on Twitch, because Twitch I have like the last 30 days or maybe 60 days worth of VODs, but YouTube has a fucking lot, honestly. YouTube, what is my YouTube channel at? It's like 800 plus. Oh, 750. 750. So yeah, 750 VODs up on that VODs channel. Quite a lot of stuff. But so yeah, if you do want to check that out, there's a link in chat as well. But yeah, I think that is gonna be about it, honestly. I think that is about it. So if you enjoyed the stream and you had a good time, I'm very glad. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you all very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you all had a good time. Thank you all very much for watching. I already said thank you to you, Fluffkins. I'm very glad you enjoyed your stay, as always. And thank you everybody else as well. Even if you're new to the stream, even if you were just lurking, even if you only got to pop in for a little bit, I appreciate everybody who tunes in and chooses to spend their time here. It does really mean a lot to me. Yeah, it does really mean a lot to me. And I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll try the overclocking stuff and see how that goes. But yeah, hopefully it helps. But yeah, that's gonna be about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you guys had a good time, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.